Superintendent Hastings.
Like the battle.
Bent coppers.
I've seen enough bent coppers.
You know, if I see a bent copper, I'll go after him.
Bent coppers. He's your bent copper for the 21st century.
Bent coppers. And I'm doing mine. And it's called nicking bent copper.
Bent coppers, that's a different story. I'm interested in one thing and one thing only. And that's bent coppers. You know me. If I see a bent copper, I only know one way, and that's full throttle.
Leigh, I'm interested in one thing and one thing only. Nicking bent coppers. It's still dominating my day.
It's just ongoing, isn't it? But yeah, it's I only know one way to go, and that's full throttle.
Full throttle.
Throttle.
Full throttle. We've got a full throttle situation on site tonight, Leigh. We've got two finals to be reckoned with. What can you tell us?
We have, yes. So it's day two of the two main events that started off yesterday. The first one kicking off at 7 o'clock, so just got underway with two tables remaining. That's the No Limit Hold'em main event. Started with 242 runners. Yesterday, we're down to 16, and it's going to pay a cracking $2,935 up top.
Sweet.
So really serious money playing for there. And then starting in an hour's time, it's already down to the final table. It's the PLO championship, and that's got a prize up top of $1,250. So we'll be keeping an eye on both of those for the next couple of hours, keeping an eye on the snooker as well. And obviously there's medals up for grabs, and I can give you an update on the leaderboards as well. So we've got a whole load of stuff to get through.
Fantastic. Well, I tell you what, let's bring up some tables, eh? So let me try and do this. 1, 2.
Whilst you're getting those tables up, Harrison Rowlands was the chip leader going into this day too. He's just already slightly been overtaken by Philip Muller, who was second in chips. So interesting thing about Philip Muller, he's already had picked up some points this week. So he's currently sat 30th on the leaderboard. He's going to pick up enough points in this to get himself into the top 20, that's for sure. But so there's a few interesting stories with the leaderboard. Des, basically, Tony Ross has got it locked up top. 5 cashes, of which 2 of them were wins this week. Wow. He's on step 3, so he's going to pick up the 3 tickets. That's pretty much a certainty. Then we've got a couple of interesting stories below that. Lewis Tabib is currently 3rd. He's on step 4. Pete Wigglesworth is currently 6th. He's on step 4. Pete messaged me earlier on. He said, "Have I made top 5?" I said, "I can't tell you." And I said, "I can't tell you till tonight, Pete." But yeah, he's already out of there with obviously points still to come from the 23 players that we've got left in. So of those 23 players that are left in, 5 of them have already picked up points this week. So they are going to significantly move at the table. Now, here's the little story. There's a little sweat. Here's the little sweat for us tonight. Currently sat in 17th place tonight. On step 5 is Gary Young.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So Gary is potentially going to be our first one to pick up a $109 ticket.
It's got to be looking good. Come on, Leigh.
Well, the top 2 in tonight's No Limit Hold'em are going to overtake him.
He's going to go to 19th.
Just on the base. So he's going to go to 19th. Depending on how the other 5 that I said have already scored points do tonight, he might just drop out of that top 20. Wow. And that's what we're going to keep an eye on. Whilst obviously following these guys, looking to pick up APAT medals and significant chunks of money. I mean, let's be looking at this main event here. Now, the top 3 prizes, it's $1,400 for third. It's $2,000 for second, and saying just shy of $3,000 for first. Serious, cash for a $55, which and some of them will have got it. Some of them will have got in for $5.50 and gone in through the feeder.
It's good money, Leigh, and it's the bling. It's once a month now. You can only pick up your bling, your medal, once a month. So those big chunky APAT medals are there to be won tonight. And of course, we're down to 16 in the No Limit Hold'em. We've got 7 left. We're at a final table in the PLO. That kicks off at 8. And we've got a few people in the chat box. Again, Facebook not doing a particularly marvelous job of pushing forward names and stuff like that. Definitely something's changed there. But one Mr. Robert Needham, right, author extraordinaire, poker novel specialist, says, "Good evening, chaps. Evening to you, Rob. Hope you're well." Don Logan is there. It was Don's birthday yesterday. Missed it, but wished him a belated happy birthday today. So I hope you're doing well. Don, Dean Pearson is in there. And Rob's come back with, I think I've just about got over the anticlimax of yesterday's LOD. Hopefully there will be some good drama at the tables tonight. And I would imagine there will be drama at the table. But I think LOD, right? I think they're just setting us up for season 7 and the fabled, Are You the Fifth Man?
Yeah. Did I? Well, I tagged you. I'm not sure whether you will have picked it up, but I tagged you in something on Twitter earlier on today, which is an impersonator comedian guy who has done an incredible. It's about 2 minutes 20.
Oh,
basically,
no.
the whole of the season done in 2 minutes 20. And his impressions of all the main characters is absolutely spot on. Very, very good indeed.
Did you tag my personal account? Des Duffy?
Yeah, I just did.
I'll find it.
Des Duffy on the thread. I was replying to his initial one. I could probably find his name if I need to. So.
No, just remind me when we get to a 5-minute break, we're going to play it.
It's very, very good.
Awesome. Okay, we look forward to that. So,
very, very good indeed.
With all of that good stuff said, we have a table up here. We've got Richard King on it.
Yeah, well, we are man down already. Gary Jackson is
Gary Jackson on there as well
to go. Finishes in 16th place, picking up $186, and that's the pay jump now to 224. So for these 15 players remaining, blinds are 25,000 and 50,000. Average stack is currently 800,000. So they're playing about 16 bigs in average here. So you'd like to think it's going to get a little bit busy, and as we say that, Richard King is all in, but gets that one through. Already had on the other table Rafael Ferreira Martin, doubled up Robin Johansson as Aidan Quinlan's all in with 6s against Raphael's ace-8. He's hit 6 on the flop, which is going to put him in a very good spot. And Raphael doubles up another player. It's Aidan Quinlan this time.
Yeah, you've got Kevin Dawson
from Ireland. Yeah,
Kevin Dawson all in on the feature table. Leigh, he was just ahead of the button, so it's only 73k. And Mizel Cardoso.
So Tim Pullman had already raised it up under the gun with King Queen. It's 10s. It needs the 10s to hold. Kevin does, and it does.
Gets it through.
So he's going to get that's pretty much over a triple up actually, because it was so short stacked there. He was down to 1.5 bigs. Unfortunately. Meanwhile, on the other table, it's King 3 for Lucas against Raphael with the 5s again, and Lucas has hit. I'll tell you what, Raphael has now doubled up 3 players on this table. He's gone from what was about 1 million stack down to about 450,000. Doubled up 3 players. Lucas, Robin, and Aidan have all had a double up through him.
We'll switch the table. So as you call an all-in, Leigh, we'll make sure that table goes up on screen.
So it's unfortunate for Raphael. He's not played those light. He's had hands each time, and just he's been on the wrong side of each of them. But he's still got chips. As Christoph's all in with 10 Jack against Aidan Quinlan's Queen 10 Jack on the flop. So Christoph's going to get a double. This is what I was going to say is going to happen. There's a lot of short stacks out here. So there's chips just going in. There's a lot of people just getting it in pre. On the feature table, Floyd has raised it up under the gun. Minimum raise. Floyd Axenhenter from Canada. Axenhenter? Yeah, I think we'll go Axenhenter. So from Canada. So see if Floyd can get that one through. So Florian's in the chat saying, "Let's go, Philip."
Yeah.
So Philip Muller, I presume
folding.
he's following, who's current chip leader, 1.7 million. And we can take a breath for all of a sudden. It's just that was absolute, I
like it. We haven't called poker in ages, Leigh. It's been about a month, funnily enough. Let's do this.
Yes, it's we do. There is poker goes on a Sunday night. It's just we end up chatting about other things. I was looking at the schedule for the Liverpool and Man United schedule. I don't see a spare date where they can play this game.
Well,
I don't know what
I'm hearing that on May the 15th.
They're going to have to move something else around, I think.
Yeah, May the 15th. I think they're thinking they'll move the Liverpool West Brom game to
just shunt that
another midweek and put
Yeah,
the United Liverpool game in there because United's schedule is busier.
Yeah, so Kevin Dawson is all in under the gun, and Philip Muller has repopped it for his 1.7 million straight away after him. Still a load of players to get through. Mizel is the first one. Mizel Cardozo, sorry. It falls round. It's sixes versus jacks. Kevin's
look at all
going to need
those
his
clubs.
sticks. Clubs aren't going to help him.
Philippe has that covered.
And unfortunately, we're going to lose Kevin Dawson. He is going to depart in 15th place, and our chip leader adds to his stack. Yeah, so I was looking at the fixtures and going, yeah, there isn't a spare slot, so they would have to move something, which is most unfortunate. But Michael Cosmis is all in on the button, just the big blind to get through, which is poor Raphael, who's just literally.
Yeah, so I'm not doing that.
Giving
Any
away
more
all
of
of
that?
his
No.
chips.
You've got a ladder now. Try and get fifth.
He's hanging on to what he's got. He's down to 7 bigs. So just very unfortunate, really. For him. Richard King is all in. I say this is what's happening at the moment. It's pre, and he's going to get called by Philip. He's running to ace king. He's going to need a queen or runner or a jack now.
Help. Oh,
and he hits the jack on the river. Makes the straight on the river. Richard King gets a double up through our chip leader.
Wow.
And as quickly as Philip went from 1.7 to 2 million, he's back down to 1.4 again now.
It's going to be a bit crazy.
What a card for Richard on the river there.
Yeah, belt in Florian if you're still there, mate. It's going to be a crazy next hour, I fear.
I think that's going to be the case. Raphael gets one through on the other table and adds a little bit back to his stack. Of course, the trouble is with blinds, there's 120,000 in the middle here before you even play a hand. So for these guys that are sat on 400, 500, 600k, it's just get it in and hope for the best, really, because you're adding a decent bit to his chips, even if it's just taking down the blinds.
Yeah, I mean, it's if you've got the chips, I mean, sit back and just watch the table for a couple of orbits just to see whether there are going to be any, free spots. But I don't think you're going to get too many at this stage in the tourney. Leigh, there aren't going to be too many sort of, just blind raises. It's going to be all action all over the place, I fear.
Yeah, so Ricky is all in, and actually all in a call on the other table. It's Michael, the king, queen, and it's Lucas has got the sevens. Michael's hit his queen, which is going to be good enough, and we're going to lose Lucas Santana, and Richard King's called with the ace-9 against the ace-5 of Ricky. There's chop opportunities here, but it's not going to happen. And Richard King is gone from to pretty much a chip leader, I think, in the space of a couple of hands. Wow. And we're now down to 12 players. One more and another pay jump.
Oh, I forgot how crazy poker was, Leigh.
Yeah, it's
amazing what you forget in 3 weeks.
The thing is, I mean, everything we've seen so far, it's not loose. I mean, Ricky's hand there. I mean, he's seen an ace. He's short stack, gets it in. It's a decent call with Richard with an ace in the big blind, because obviously Ricky's range is going to be quite wide there. You'd guess.
Yeah. Listen, Leigh, mother of God, Rob Needham, who's a good fella, right? He's in the chat box. I thought I'd come to the right place for a bit of drama, and indeed he has. There'll be no cliffhangers here. I'm telling you, it'll be brutal all the way through.
Exactly. I promise you, we won't leave you hanging till the next season. We'll play this out to a finish tonight. That's right, for sure.
We can't promise there won't be the occasional weird surprise, right? The occasional weird surprise.
You never quite know what's coming on the river. Yeah.
So Floyd is all in here. Oh,
Floyd's all in and Raphael's all in. So we got all in on each table. It's Floyd's just got to get through Tim in the big blind. It's a tough call for Tim. He's got to have woken up with something there, really, or he's going to just let it go. Whereas on the other table, Raphael's got it all in for his 450,000. He's got Michael Cosmis in the big blind. He's got 1.2 million. So there's potential here. If Michael's got 7, so he makes the call. Raphael's got queen 10. He's going to need to hit queen or a 10. Still needs a queen or a 10. Oof. And he's not going to get there. And Raphael's gone from, I think he was about 3rd in chips, I want to say.
He was brutalized. You want to get chalk and just mark around him because he has been brutalized there.
Yeah, really, really has. And he is done for. So we are down to 11 players now, getting close to the final table already. It was always going to be carnage early on, simply because the fact that the stacks were so shallow. But we've now gone to, it's about average stack is now 22 bigs, whereas say about less than 10 minutes ago it was 16 bigs, which was, and we've had a blind increase since then as well. So
interestingly, I don't know if you're seeing this, but the little tourney lobby for me is still showing 16 players.
Oh really?
Try just on the screen there.
Yeah, try closing it and just reopening it, the lobby itself.
Well, bizarrely, it's showing the correct number for the tables. You can see 5 and 6 clearly. 11.
Yeah, no, my lobby's showing 11, so it must be just a little glitch with similar to the middle names, but that's a saga for another day. Aidan Quinlan with the ace-10. It runs into Philip's ace-king. Needs to just avoid the jack on the river, does Philip, and he does. And we're going to lose Aidan Quinlan, unfortunately, in 11th place. That's the Irish done again.
Just
gone. Done again.
Gone.
It's we cannot seem to get an Irish winner in an APAT main event. Just not happening. And we're going to be going hand for hand because Michael Cosmis has just won a hand. He showed aces. I don't think he bust anybody in the end. No, he didn't. But we are down to 10 players, and it'll be I think it's a 9-handed final table. So we'll be playing hand for hand now for the final table.
Rob thinks we'll definitely be at the a final table shortly, but look at the spelling on the guy. An author, you'd have thought he could string a few letters together. Look at that. Definitely, indeed. What is the fella thinking? That's
very suspicious. That is. Can we run that through our database?
Yeah, but not for about 7 or 8 years, Leigh.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So, but in 7 years' time, we should run that through and check because something's not right there. I don't know, but I mean, but Rob's a good guy. I mean, I've got no reason to doubt him. I mean, he's just
a good guy.
Yeah, just gets through life, not a problem at all. Nah. Christoph is all in, gets that through on the other table. Let's see. Philip is raising this up, and Tim Pullman from the big blind says, "No, I'm not having any of this. You're not bullying my big blind. I'm just going to shove my 1.1 million in the middle, and let's see whether you fancy playing cards." And Philip decides better of it. So Michael Cosmis from Germany is now our chip leader.
Rich King's raising on the button here on table 120k.
And Robin Johansson is all in on the other table. He gets that through, though. Robin Johansson from Sweden. So real mixture of countries again tonight. Yeah. Germany, Malta, the UK, Netherlands, Canada, Brazil, Russia, Austria, and Sweden left in the final 10.
It's like Man City's bench, Leigh.
Yeah. And to be fair, it's... Actually, they got a Maltese. I'm trying to think if they've got anyone from Malta playing in Man City. It's probably one of the few. Yeah, one of the few countries they probably haven't. So still playing hand for hand, just in case you're wondering why there's a pause at the tables. Just hand for hand for this final table, and in 40 minutes, the PLO final table will kick off as well.
So I see Yanni is has joined us. He's there in the chat box. Good evening to you, Yanni. He will start that PLO final in 3rd place.
Yeah, I'd imagine he's probably going through his pre-match warm-up around now.
Yeah, I'll be doing a few push-ups, I'd say. Leigh, a few push-ups. Bit of pizza maybe at the same time. Just
getting himself ready, psyched up, ready for the game.
Trying to catch a frame of snooker.
Well, might well be. Yanni is currently 33rd in the on the leaderboard at the moment. So he very much is in with a shout of top 20 on the back of tonight's result. That's for sure. But we're going to end up with nearly 260 players. Different players have cashed this week in APAT events, Des.
It's fantastic. Fantastic. It's great.
So smallish pot brewing here, but Richard King fires at a bet 66,500. And it's Mizel Cardoso to make the decision. Mizel from Brazil.
Well, we haven't seen too much post-flop play, have we, Leigh?
No, I think I would imagine, say when we get to the final table, we'll see a bit more of that as as the money jumps up. But it's to say, it's still a situation, even the short stacks here, as Christoph is all in on the other table into the other short stack, Robin, and gets that one through. You know, we've got, how many have we got here? About there's 3 of them here that are playing, you know, sort of 10, 12 bigs.
Yeah.
You can't really do anything other than just get your chips, and you haven't really got enough of a stack to do anything different. Interesting little re-raise again out of the big blind here from Richard, similar to what Tim did all bit ago, but Tim shoved his entire stack in. Richard actually just did a little click back there when Philip made a bet from the button. Philip's lost a few chips here.
Well, you'd
just
have
by
to
playing,
say
trying to play, that keep putting their pressure on, and it's not really worked for him at the moment. He's been played back on twice now.
Well, we know Richard's a pretty experienced player, right? But he, at this table certainly, because we've seen more of this table.
All in the call on the other table. Des Robin with Queen Jack. So with Queen 3 against the Ace 4 of Petra, and
look at those.
Robin's hit quite nicely, and he's got a double up, and Petra's going to be down to he's got two bigs,
right?
He's 2 bigs, and he's going to be in the small blind next time round. I can't see him folding here. We'll have a look. This will be for the final table. If he does play it, well, it's a raise from Robin, so I don't quite sure how you can. Yeah, I don't quite see how you can hang on. And just making a final table, it doesn't really matter from a pay jump point of view. You're getting value in there to give it a go to try and kickstart your tournament again. But he's having a long old think about it.
He's gone deep into his clock, hasn't he?
I don't know whether he's thinking, I'll see if somebody busts on the other table, but we're playing hand for hand, so that's not going to happen. He's folded.
He's let it go.
Decided he's going to let that one go.
What type of hand is he letting go there, Leigh? Is he letting like a dirty king or a dirty queen, something that you're possibly not even guaranteed to have 2 live cards?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing to say about it is it doesn't actually make that much of a difference whether he eventually shoves with 90,000 or he shoves with 60,000. Do you know what I mean? It's not going to make a massive difference to where he's going to be stacked. It's not going to give him a more playable stack the next hand if he won that one and got his double up or whatever. So he might just be looking at it and going, "Yeah, it's absolute rubbish hand. I'm not going to there's no point in me doing it. I might as well wait and see whether anything else appears." The problem is it's antes are about, I want to say 7,000. I think it is 7,500 at the moment. So, he's going to lose by the time the blinds come round to him. He's going to lose nearly half of his stack. Yeah. So really, next hand or the hand after, he's probably got two opportunities to do this, and he's going to have to. Just get.
I'm really, I'm hearing you, but I'm at the same time surprised he didn't get him in there.
Yeah. Well, the pay jumps are not huge. They're all on $265 now. So it's a $60 jump to 9th place money.
But if you do hit that final table, you won't have enough chips to be able to.
He's folded again, so he's going to be all in next hand anyway. So it's very much going to be in the hand of the poker gods as to how it pans out, because this here comes the next hand, and it's 46,500 is going in the middle. Now, if see whether anybody will just flat this to. Actually, Michael's gone for a raise. Tricky situation for Robin. Now he lets it go. Ace 9 against Queen 10. Peter's going to need a queen or a 10 or a 9, and he gets the 10.
Wow. What do we know?
But you see what I mean, though. It's put him back on 145,000. Well, even if he'd played with the 90, it would have only been 220, something like that. So, but he's folded again. He's small blind again. So he's given himself a little bit of breathing space, but not very much.
So Tim just calls the big blind here, Floyd. See if we see a flop. And that's a double tap. We do see a flop, 10-6-8. Can't be too exciting for anyone, that. Tim continues.
And
Floyd calls.
Michael takes the hand down on the other hand. Michael min raised on the flop on the other table, and Christoph put a bet in for about half of his stack, but he only had about 500,000. Michael shoved all in over the top, and Christoph folded, so he's left himself with 275,000 on the other table. really strange decision to re-raise with half your stack and then fold.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure.
Well, listen, that board there ran out pretty dry, but Tim had a deuce, and he hit a deuce on the turn. He had a deuce and a 9 that he was raising with initially, and that was enough to take the pot down. Pretty passively played all around.
We might have a guest on the show in about 20 minutes.
Really?
For when the PLO is going to start. Yeah.
Nice.
Just trying to arrange now.
Helmuth?
As good as, to be perfectly honest, as good as. Yeah.
I love Helmuth. Or Phil, as we call him.
Well, yes. Friend of the show. Just not this show. yeah.
Detail. And Michael takes that down. Nice little pot there at 1.1 million. He goes up to 2.8. Leaves him handily placed. Did you notice bottom of the screen there, bottom right, one Mike Madizow squeezed into the new APAT show.
Yes, yeah.
Friend of the show, just not this one.
Same link will do, won't it, Des? Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. So Peter's all in, King Queen against the ace-8 of Robin, and he's hit a queen. How many lives has Petter got? It's just he's now up to 332,000. So what do we know?
Honestly,
about
what do we know, Leigh? What do we know?
Yeah, exactly. Not a clue.
He's got him straight in again, Leigh. He's not messing now. He's got the power of a small stack of chips.
Robin's fold. So he's gone now from what was about 50,000 up to 473,000.
It's incredible.
Yep, we have a guest joining us in.
I think that was the bearded one, right?
Yep. In 20 minutes.
Excellent.
He's just nipping to the shop and then he's going to log in. So we'll get Stuart in for the end of this and the Omaha final table.
Fantastic. Love it. Will he be bringing that lady with him from Norway?
I think she follows him everywhere. So
I think
yes,
so.
probably.
I certainly hope so. She's good value. She is.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Cat.
That's it. Yes. Well, that's the nickname, isn't it? Yes. So.
Reminded me a little bit of was that Scottish politician that appeared on Big Brother once upon a time?
Oh yes, Galloway.
Cat. That's the one,
yeah.
George. Gorgeous George.
Galloway.
Yeah. He played the cat, didn't he?
Yeah.
Still trying to live that one down. So Rob's saying Petter's going to win. Calling it now. I think so. And Yanni apparently stretching them knuckles. Right, that's the way. He is warming up for tonight. He's expecting a bit of a white knuckle ride. Everything in the right place.
So I'm just trying to work out these points for the sweat with Gary Young as to whether he's going to hang on in the top 20 or not and pick up a $109 ticket. It's going to be very close. One of the players that he's going to overtake him, I think pretty much dead certain now, is going to be Philip Muller. Because he's third in chips. And the only other one in this No Limit Hold'em that's still in now is Christoph Erbler.
Well, Christoph's faced with a decision here. He folds to Harrison's all in. And we go again.
But yeah, for anyone that missed out earlier on, I confirmed that Tony Ross can't get caught at the top of the leaderboard, so he's going to pick up 3 step 3 tickets, which are $33 ones. So Tony back on the way up. So very well done to Tony this week.
Floyd's all in there. He takes Richard King's early raise. And we see a flop on table 1. Table Petter, as we'll call it for the moment.
Harrison's been very steadily playing. He started the day as chip leader and then lost a couple of early pots, nothing too significant, but has just been steadily going about his business. I think he started with about 1.2 1.3 million, something like that. So has been watching the others, others getting busy.
Well, Harrison
and now,
is committing some chips here, Leigh. He's
Yeah.
put in just under $250,000.
it's about a quarter of his stack, and Michael's made the call. So there's $1 million in the middle now.
It's a bit tricky now for Harrison. Does he go again? Does he have the courage? I'm not particularly liking my hand at this point, unless I've got
Trouble
fairly
is
solid king.
Michael's playing this out of the big blind. So Harrison was under the gun, but he's gone for it.
Oh,
It's all
there's the
in.
all in.
I mean, it's a very simple one, I guess, unless Michael's got. Well, he's obviously not snapped it straight away, so he hasn't got a deuce. I mean, was Michael on a flush draw? Maybe was it at hearts?
Well, I thought he was
or
representing.
missed it. Could it be a 6-7 or something like that?
Yeah,
maybe.
I thought he was representing a reasonable king, and he was just sort of
Thought I'd
calling.
see if I can get there, and
Yeah.
But puts Harrison up to 1.8 million now, and Petter's all into Harrison's big blind. He's got the
He gets
stack,
the
and he
call.
calls it off with any old
Good
two.
shape.
9-5.
He's in good shape, Petter.
And avoids what he needs to avoid. And it's another double up for Petter, and he's now up to 750,000. Wow. I mean, he was, down
This is the APAT Show anti-Bok.
Yeah, what was he? Down to one big, pretty much.
50K, Leigh. Chip in a chair.
That very much it. And he's all in again. He's hoovering up the chips, though. There's 150,000 in the middle here before you even do anything. And it's just right. Well, I'm going to get them in, and he is hoovering away.
I think they'll
it's Robin's entire stack if he makes the call. They've literally got identical stacks.
Listen, I think his table mates will have seen his last holding, that Jack Queen. And I think, any decent two cards, he's going to get a call next time.
Yeah.
So Richard and Philippe going to battle here on the turn.
And that's a decent
down.
pot for Richard King. Puts him up to 2.6 million. He's our chip leader at the moment. Richard the Chocolate King. Completely cleared us out in the Advent calendar promo.
Well, he spent a lot of Christmas giving chocolates to another man's wife. That's what I heard.
So Robin dishes out a bit back on Petter and says, right, well, I'll stick all my chips in first this time. Right. What are you going to do? And he folds. So round we go again. This is hand for hand, guys, for the final table. We've gone from 16 to 10 in the space of 30 minutes. All these guys now guaranteed $265, but the big money up top, it's $1,400 for third, $2,000 for second, and just shy of $3,000 up top tonight. And Petter has got it all in against Christoph, ace jack against 10 deuce, and it's going to be a double up for Christoph. It's a surprising one. Meanwhile, Richard King's all in with ace king against the jacks of Mizal, and wow. Hits a jack on the turn just to make it safe. Although there was a queen opportunity there on the river for Richard, but doesn't get it. And Mizal gets a double up. Nobody seems to want to go here, Des. We've had a lot of all in and calls, and
I can't keep up with it.
That's got it.
I can't keep up with it.
It's always the short stack that seems to have got there in the past 5 minutes or so. It's as if nobody wants to bust. Nobody wants to bust until we get Stu Ward gets on comms. That's what it is. So.
I think I might get a beer out for that one, Leigh.
Well, you've got one, that's been chilling quite nicely.
A pint of Moosehead, perhaps.
Yes, yeah. Very much so. Yeah, I'm not sure whether you'd be able to play that Twitter vid or whether it'll pick it up and.
Well,
there's no reason why. There's no reason why it would, because it's on Facebook, isn't it? So there's no reason why it would question it. But
the issue is this. The issue is this, if I'm honest. So if when we'd gone on air, this had been plugged into my laptop, it would have been fine. I'd have been able to play it live for everyone. But because this audio cable isn't plugged in, the actual impact of me plugging it in now is that it'll turn my computer off. No, it'll turn my computer off.
Is that what it does?
Yeah, it just turns the computer off, and we all fall down as the old. We do a
Tom Banks as it's known.
A Banksy, that's right.
Yeah, we do a Banksy. Yeah. So, and of course, there's football on tonight, isn't there? 2 games going on. One at 6:00, and then the big game tonight is at 8:00, I think, isn't it?
Is that West Ham and Burnley?
Yeah, Clarets.
The Claret
and
Derby
Blues versus the Claret and Blues. Yeah. So, and I think a Burnley win pretty much guarantees United Champions League. Ace 5 for Philip. Mizel's got Ace King, so he's in a good spot. Needs to avoid a 5 or a 7, and he does. So. And Mizel's gone, huge chips now, 2.5 million. And Philip Muller
crippled
is pretty much done for. He's got one big. It's going in now. He's not hanging about. And he's got a raise from Mizel, so he's going to get some protection here. It's King 10 versus Ace 8.
Ahead.
He's ahead. They both hit, but it's hit the right way for Mizel. Philip's going to need to hit on the river, and he doesn't.
Lucky Philip.
And unfortunately, we are going to lose Philip Muller in 10th place.
Wow.
And that will just reset for a final table. So Des will just need to do a quick bit of a jiggery pokery.
Well, we'll see.
To get us going as the final table pops into view. So here we go, final table then. Mizel Cardoso's gone. Chip leader from Brazil, 2.7 million. Michael Cosmis from Germany, 2.4 million. Richard King, 1.7 million from the UK. Harrison Rowlands, who was chip leader overnight, 1.3 million. As Stu's just joining us now. Excellent. Even Stu.
Hi, yep.
Hey, Stu. So Tim Pullman, million chips. Floyd Axenhenter is million chips as well. Robin Johansson from Sweden's got 700,000. Christoph Erbler from Austria's got 500,000. And the short stack, Petter, our friend from from Russia, who's been hanging on with one big and then got up to 500,000 in chips, is our short stack. Straight away, we have an all in the call, and Christoph's got a double up through Floyd. We're away, final table. So these guys are all guaranteed $325, just shy of $3,000 up top, Stu.
Hello.
Nice bit of money tonight. How are you doing?
Tell you what, let's get Stu on screen. This is what we're going to do. Now, I've got an issue here that I'm trying to sort out. So give me a minute, guys. We'll have the final table up as soon as we can.
No problem.
All right, no worries
whatsoever.
Stu. So yeah, I'll give you a quick catch up. So we started with 242 players yesterday of this the April main event. We're now down to the final 9.
Nice.
To say $15,000 in the prize pool, and 3,000 odd of that is going to the top place plus the gold medal. Fairly shallow stacks though. Blinds are 40,000 and 80,000. Average stack is just over 1.3 million. So there's not a huge amount of wiggle room at the moment. I think we'll lose a couple fairly early on in this. And don't forget, guys, the PLO main event final table starts in 20 minutes, down to 7 in that. We've got Di Farrell and Yanni playing in that one.
Nice.
As well, so we'll follow both of those. So Des is just trying to work out get the table up. So we'll be
Come on, Des, we can do it.
Technical problems at my end, gents, but we're just dealing with those.
You're not missing anything at the moment, other than a few chips getting moved around from left to right.
Nice, fair enough.
We were saying it's been quite a crazy day 2 so far. We came back with 16 players, Stu, and we've managed to get down to final table in 40 minutes.
That's fairly good effort. It sounds like it's quite shallow at the minute. So
yeah, it has been, but it's been a lot of not much post flop play, to be honest. Players have been getting their chips in, but player in the small blind here at the moment, Petr Morozov, was down to one big.
Wow.
Folded. He had 90,000 with blinds for 30,000, 60,000, and he folded his small blind, and then folded the next 2 hands blind with the antes at 7,500. So did a quarter of it on the next 2 hands in, as he's all in at the moment. Robin's got ace 10. Petra's got ace 7 with the diamonds. He needs a diamond. He's not going to get there, and unfortunately, that is going to be his race run. And Petra's going to depart in 9th place, picking up $324. So he folded the next 2, Stu. So went from then 60,000 down to 45,000, and then went on a heater, won and got up to about 700,000.
Oh, you love to see it. You absolutely love to see that.
It was an epic roll. That's all that we can say.
Very impressive, to say the least.
Right, let's see how
enjoyable to watch. That's That's for shit. But Rob Needham said Petter's going to win. He said, "I'm calling it now as well." Unfortunately, yeah, that wasn't to be, but a good run all the same.
There we go,
Chip
guys.
leader,
We're back.
lovely. Chip leader overnight was Harrison Rowlands, and he's still there in 5th place at the moment. So we're down to 8.
Let's go.
All good. Yeah, so we're just warming up for the big claret and blue derby tonight. West Ham versus Burnley. And I was just saying to Des, I think a Burnley win tonight pretty much all but guarantees Man United Champions League football next season. Which means they didn't have to do that whole European Super League thing. They could have just, got through it normal.
That's really good news for United because, of course, that sort of guarantees a Europa League qualification at the last 32 stage. So that's really good, right? Yeah. The slippery slope into the Europa League.
Liverpool now go. Isn't there a new one now? Do you not go down to the Europa Conference? Isn't there a Europa Conference?
Where you end up playing Wrexham and all sorts.
The way Liverpool have played this season, they'd be looking to get that, wouldn't they?
Oh, to be honest, mate, I don't want to go there. I'd rather we missed Europe altogether.
To be fair, I didn't even mention it to Des yesterday, but I thought Liverpool's result yesterday was
quite happy. I was quite happy
really
to get away with that as a weekend outcome.
It was a really good performance. Yeah, the way they turned up at that hotel and bunkered in for a few hours and then hopped into their coaches. And
I wasn't unhappy.
Was exceptional. Yeah,
I was not unhappy. No buses were broken in the making of that point.
No, I know we never did talk about that Real Madrid thing. What happened? Somebody put a brick through the Real Madrid coach window, didn't they, or something that night?
When was that? When they came to Anfield? Yeah, couldn't possibly comment.
Friendliest fans in the world, Liverpool fans, though. Salt of the earth. Never do anything wrong.
Come on, we're
never
friendly.
Do anything wrong. Never do anything wrong.
Never. Well,
yeah, ever.
I'll tell you what, some of those United fans, they're a bit violent, aren't they? I'd stay well away from them. Bloody hell, the poor Copper got sliced up. He looked at me, looked straight and everything.
Yeah, if he'd been a bent Copper, we wouldn't have. Hang on,
all in. Different.
Mazelle's raised it with Queen 7 and Floyd's made the call with Ace 9. Mazelle's hit a 7. Oh, that's very unfortunate for Floyd. And Floyd from Canada is going to depart in 8th place, and we're down to 7.
Dream spot for Floyd there. Just got to call it off with the...
Yeah, I mean, the big stacks raised it up, fully in the table, and you've just gone, I've got an 8 in the big block, bang.
Oh, yeah.
I just need to avoid. Not to be, unfortunately.
Who sat on the motorway?
Sorry, what was it? Say that again. Say it a bit slowly.
Who sat on a motorway? I can hear cars or something.
Nope.
Well, take a look at the 2 video streams. Do either of these look like a car?
What is going on with... I don't know, it's me. I've got a fishing stream on in the background.
Stream on in the background.
What on earth is that noise?
We've hooked a big one here. We've hooked a big one here, guys.
Who sat on a motorway?
It's not when you had your window open or something. It can't be Leigh. He lives in the middle of nowhere in a mansion.
Welcome to Fishing Frenzy on a Monday night, everybody.
I'll tell you the irony that we're watching poker while Stu's got a fishing frenzy on in the background. It's just crazy.
Well, I mean, I can understand if Des has got the snooker on. But,
I haven't on. So we're going blackout on the snooker, guys.
Oh, is that the plan? Is that what you're going to do?
Well, it wasn't the plan, but yeah, let's do it. No spoilers on the snooker.
Do you know what the score was after the afternoon session?
I think the last I'd seen, it was 10-7 to Selby. So by all means,
that was overnight. But that was overnight, wasn't it?
I went to the park, right? Went to the park with Sean, 2 little ones. And we were out there for hours. Absolutely brilliant. But I had an intermittent signal. So I'm sure I saw an update that had Selby 3 ahead. It might have been 13-10.
It was 12-9 when I last looked this afternoon.
It could well have been 12-9. So where did we finish the session at?
Okay, so I can tell you where the session...
Yeah.
Let's see where the session... Oh, no, they've already started the evening session.
Yeah, they would have done. 7 o'clock, I think.
So it was 14-11 then.
Yeah,
going into the I think so.
How many frames do you need to win?
We got a race here, guys.
18.
And Richard King's... he's gone ahead and then he's been pulled back violently.
Quads? Just the quads.
Just the quads.
Just the quads, you know. Just to rub it in that you re-get there.
Wow.
Wowee.
Yeah, Rich is going to be somewhat shattered by that because he's worked hard to get to this point. And, beautiful thing to see your king pull ahead on the flop. But Harrison absolutely got there.
Yeah, so Selby led 14-11 after the afternoon session. So it's 18 for the win. So, Murphy's got a bit of work to do, I think.
Well, Richard King's pushed all in here.
It's a very difficult one for Tim to make the call there, though, because it's more than half his stack.
In fairness, Richard could have had any two there.
Yeah. I believe there would have been steam coming out of the ears after that one.
Probably, yeah. Stu, how have you been?
I've not been too bad.
In a little while. Last week, rough. We saw you on camera on Wednesday. Jer's funeral,
we're at the funeral. It was a pretty heavy service, but it was what Joe was quite short and sharp.
Yeah.
Obviously, Wee Man played a blinder and was absolutely outstanding.
Felt very appropriate. The whole thing felt very appropriate. And you guys honoured the memory with buckets of NFL.
Oh, very much so. There was some sizable bar bills run up afterwards.
Fair play. No,
we think between 7 we spent the neck end of £1,000. So,
oh my word!
Yeah, it was the hangovers were real on Thursday.
Yeah,
but it's what he would have wanted. It was really nice. We called with some people I've not seen for like over a year, and it was really nice to see everybody. And obviously, sad circumstances, but he'd have been proud of it. He'd have enjoyed himself there. So
yeah. Well, I guess for Wee Man and Marie, it's not necessarily how they feel this week or last week. It's going to be how they feel in a month's time or in 6 months' time. When there are fewer people around talking about Dad.
Yeah.
But I have to say, Dad left some legacy behind. I think people are going to be talking about him for a long time.
Well, the man's a legend. He was like I said, he's an absolute titan. He's somebody that there won't be another one like him.
Yeah,
there really won't. Someone has affected that many people in the way that he did, and had that much of a positive impact on people's lives. Because that's what he had on everyone he met. And like say, just on Facebook on like the morning of the funeral, and like when it happened, I think you couldn't move for his face on Wednesday. So it's like, there he is.
For anybody who doesn't know who we're talking about, Jer Smith, long time APAT member, unfortunately passed away on us 3 odd weeks ago. He had his funeral last week, and he will be sorely missed by the community for sure.
Yeah. It's like, I can remember, that's one of the great things I like that, because I'd never have met him if it wasn't for APAT. I met him in a airport bar in Manchester on the way to Estonia. And I just got told, look out for the walrus going around the corner, and there he was. And he immediately walked over and bought everyone a beer, and it all kind of snowballed from there for the next many years.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Jay was on my it was on my the end of the day table, my first ever APAT event in Luton.
Are you sure, Lee? Because you said end of the day.
No, it was well.
Actually got to the end of the day, really?
He might have bust before the end of the day, but he was certainly on the table that I was on towards the my opening table. I had the joy of Ironside, my first ever APAT table. You
basically had all of the legends there.
Yeah, all in one go. Yeah, big pot building here. Harrison's raised Mizell raised up to 580,000, and Harrison's shoved in the lot. Just over 2 million. Mazel is our chip leader at the moment. Started this hand with about 4.2 million, but lets it go. I think that's pretty sensible play. That's the two chip leaders going at it there, Stu.
Yeah, under the gun +1 raise is pretty strong. Then when he finds the jam over the top of the re-raiser, you just got to think he's strong. I don't mind Mazel like making the 3-bet, but letting it go is pretty good as well. I mean, because he's obviously found out the strength of his hand. It's like, okay, fair enough. Then we put him to the test a little bit, and then obviously he's got him back next hand anyway. So
Gary Young update. Stu, you weren't here for the start. So there's a little bit of a sweat on in the leaderboard. Gary Young is on level. It's on step 5. He's playing for $109 ticket.
Oh wow!
This week, he was 16th in the leaderboard. Top 20 will get him a ticket. But he's already been overtaken by one. So he's down to 18th now.
Tricky.
So
tricky.
And there's going to be a couple that are going to overtake him if they topping this as well. So we might be that he's just going to miss out.
Squeaky bum time.
On it, and he would be the first one to do it. First one to get a $109 ticket. We've had a few that have given it a go so far, but not quite got there when they needed to. Saved us a fortune, hasn't it, Des? Saved us a fortune.
Saved us an absolute fortune. We're totally indebted to you, just not by 109.
Meanwhile,
Rich
just got an all in the call. Hang on a minute.
hello.
It's Ace Jack for Tim. It's Ace Jack that's at risk, but he's avoided the king and the 10 from Harrison, and so nice double up for Tim.
Nice, he'll take that. Mr. Baker is in the chat box, and he says "cock" in capitals. Honestly,
not very
could
nice
be talking
calling.
about any
I was gonna
number
say.
of characters.
I don't, but obviously not talking about myself because
Well, bear in mind that I did explain last night that he's now living in effectively a Swedish sauna just on a golf course. That could mean anything if Richard's writing that. I mean, who knows where he's
I have to say, I
that
do
is
like the
not
sound
a thought
of that.
that anybody needs on a bank holiday Monday.
Christoph's all in with 9s. Michael's got the jacks, and Christoph is not going to get there. And Michael Cosmis is going to add to his stack, and we're going to lose Christoph Erbler from Austria in 7th place, and we are down to 6 now. These guys are all guaranteed $565 now.
So does anyone know whether Rich Baker has a camera? We should just send him the link and get him on the show.
I hope not. If he's sat in a Swedish sauna saying the word cock.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
He does have a camera, I know, because as I said last night, I was on a little Zoom call with him after Jez service last week. So
Yeah, we saw that there was a call going on. We were considering ringing in from the from the restaurant, but then the shots started flying about, and it all got a little bit blurry. And then Dawn
Probably
turned up, and it got more blurry.
a three-way all in. Ace King versus
Blimey.
9s versus Queen 9. It's going to be the 9s that are for the chip leader, but Robin's hit is Ace, and what about that for a hand for Richard King?
Oh, he's got a stack
With his
there, hasn't
Queen
he?
9 turns his straight.
Oh, are we?
So yeah, so Richard gets a treble up, and Robin picks up the side pot between him and Mizal, and so it didn't do much damage to Robin, actually. In fact, if anything, he might have even picked up a few chips there, Stuart. Actually, with
Yeah, I think he probably got a few off Mizzell, didn't he?
Yeah, the way that worked out. So
Simple game.
yeah, Richard is still hanging on. Still our short stack, but say got a little bit to play with now. Blinds at 50,000, 100,000, so he's got about 8 bigs now.
I think looking at the stack size, it's going to take a particularly poor hand for me not to be shoving in Richard's spot here. Must have a particularly poor hand. Yeah. Like you say, like next to the button. I'm probably just jamming an E2 there because you can just go up to like 800k. It's a bit of a dent now for people.
Oh, they're playing the Petter school of poker with this hanging on for it. So we're 5 minutes to the hour, which means we're 5 minutes away from the start of the PLO final table as well, and then we'll keep an eye on both of them as we go. But we say we're down to 6 players now in this. Just give you an update on the payouts for this. So 6th place is $565. It's $700 for 5th, $950 for 4th. Then the medalists, $1,415 for bronze medal place, $2,050 for silver medal, and up top it's $2,935 and the APAT gold medal.
Sweet.
Very nice indeed.
So how have you been, Stu, outside of the sad events of last week? Are you beginning to get back to some level of normality?
we're back at work. We're only serving people outside, but we're still pretty busy, especially like Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
That's good.
I'm playing cricket again. I managed to dislocate my finger yesterday, which was fantastic, because somebody made cricket balls really hard.
Could never understand that.
Who thought that was a good idea? Yeah,
we were playing at a place called Blackhall Colliery, which is like up past between Hartlepool and Sunderland, and it's an interesting place, shall we say?
They sound tough.
It's a town where the streets are called First Street, Second Street, Third Street.
Keep it
Middle
simple.
Street.
Keep it. It's like New York. Keep it simple.
So yeah, we turned up at like about 1:45, and there was about 30 people huddled under a 5-person gazebo in the rain drinking, and they kept drinking all day. And there was like people fighting on the outfield, and
they're just following the rules. That's all they're doing. Just following the rules.
We've got quite a young cricket team. So we got like five juniors in the team, and it's probably the second time we've been there, and they were all just stood there like open mouthed at what was going on the sidelines. Like, this is tame. I've been here before where teams had to call the police to get them out of the changing rooms because the locals are kicking off. It was, we got a draw. We scored 200 runs against them and
bloody hell,
did well. Yeah,
wow.
a few of our young
nice
lads
to be
did
back
really
playing
well.
those, Stu.
Apart from the fact the ball's still really hard.
Yeah.
And it was hailing yesterday, apparently.
Really?
So, yeah.
I don't know what's going on here tonight. We've got, proper gale force winds down on the south coast tonight. Here.
It was cold.
It's pretty
It's
rough.
chilly. It's been raining all day. It's just like the skies are like, it looks perfect outside now, but it's absolutely freezing.
Yeah, went to the park today, Stu, and looked beautiful. Lovely and bright and what have you, but cold. Cold. It's bizarre to me because we're in May.
We got spoilt last week. Last month we found we started like this is our third game of the season of cricket, and the first two have been absolutely glorious.
Yeah,
been really warm and everything. We've been spoilt, and now we've got to May, and it's kind of gone back to default, and it's just cold.
It is what it is. We all know the weather's a bit fucked. Can I say that? I guess so. I've just done it. So we all know the weather's a bit up in the air, isn't it? Right? It's quite different than what it was 20 or 30 years ago. We used to have seasons sort of pretty much at the right period of the year, but it is a bit up and down now. A bit up and down. I wonder how much longer into the season it can remain cold. We'll have to see. I think we're promised more rain for tomorrow, so
I think it's a whole week by the looks of it. It's great to our place at work. People are complaining about having to sit outside in the rain when they've booked a table. It's like, well, you knew the risks when you booked.
Yeah. And to be honest, you compensate, right? It's still nice to be out there. I mean, unless it's really, really nasty. Yeah. In which case, fair enough, enjoyment just disappears. Cancel, but it's just nice to be
one
out.
One of the pubs that we normally do a quiz at up in Dorchester had opened up last week, and I saw them put the thing out either late last night or this morning, just saying they were closing today because they looked at the weather, saw it was bad, so they won't be opening. But crikey,
our place closed today.
Where the pubs they're dependent on the weather as to whether they open their doors or not.
It's 14 days time now until the reopen. 2 weeks today. Yeah. Also, the day that our racehorse is going to make his debut, apparently at Redcar Races.
Oh, wow, also excellent.
So we'll be rocking up to that one. I think he was meant to make his debut on Saturday, but it got pulled out because the ground was a bit too firm for him. So Redcar on May the 17th.
Did you get a name? What's the name of the horse now?
On the River.
On the River, excellent. Yeah.
Fantastic. So he likes heavy ground, does he?
Well, he had a bit of a sore leg about 2 months ago, so that he's only young. They don't want to put him out on firm ground and have him flare up again. So luckily it's hoying down here for the next God knows how long. So it should be what sort
of distance will he run? What's the plan?
He's making his debut on 6 furlongs. They reckon he'll be I think Glenn was saying he'll be 6, 7, 8 furlongs, which is good because it's only short. No one wants to spend half an hour watching a horse trudge around.
They're really, really expensive. What with the Pirelli style horseshoes, you also got hay and steroids and stuff like that. I mean,
you got to get the steroids in.
Well, no steroids.
Oh yeah, you got to get the steroids in. You got to pick the good stuff as well. You can't get any cheap steroids.
Yeah. Does he take that cannabis oil as well? That's quite popular these days.
We leave all this up to Glenn. Glenn's our dealer. He just sorts all that stuff out for him. We just
our medical doctor. Yeah. No, I'm sure
we just shovel him all the money, and he just sorts all that out with the trainer.
I'm sure
that'd be proper exciting though, won't it? The first race.
Yeah. Well, when his name first went up for his race on Saturday, he pulled out the day. But when he first got declared for it, he was at about 25-30 to 1. And he came into 16 to 1 at one point because people were just lumping on him, despite Glenn's warnings.
Because of the name, or not because you guys were lumping? Surely you wouldn't move the market that much, is it?
Well, no, there was us and then people that we know as well.
Yeah, it's
really? Wow, okay.
I think everyone I work with had a bet with him. Yeah, everyone I worked with had a bet on him at one point, despite the fact we were told that it was his first race. They were getting him out just basically getting experience of the race day and stuff. So Ben was our trainer was just he's going to finish mid to high pack type thing. Don't bet on him because we're getting out there for experience. I was like, I don't care. I don't have a racehorse not to bet on it.
We're going to lose Richard. Tim had 7-9. Richard made the call with the King 5, and Tim hit his 7. So we are down to 5, and Richard King is going to depart in 6th place. Sorry.
Right, Leigh, I'm going to show a bit of the PLO as well, right? So we've just started the PLO final table. So we'll give the guys and the gals, if there's any gals on there, a bit of...
there is.
there is. Miss Farrell, right? Yeah. Di's there for one, for sure. And we've also got Alexander in the chat box. Just saying, please, the PLO final table. So we'll do a bit of that. Diane playing from South Carolina, North Carolina, one of the Carolinas in the States. No, she's playing from Georgia. That's right. It's always rainy in Georgia. That's right. Detail. We'll go through. If we go through all of the states, we'll hit upon it.
Get there eventually.
We will hit upon it. Yanni's in there as well. John Yip.
I recognise John Yip from the
Worlds.
From the Worlds, yeah.
Yeah, I said that last night. Yeah, had a number of good runs.
Yeah.
So Alexander, you got to tell us in the chat box who you're calling for here in the PLO, because Alexander put a post up on the Facebook group as well. So keen to hear.
I'm not sure. I'm looking at Alexander. I'm looking at Alexander's surname, Abramson, and I'm going to suggest maybe one of the Swedish players, perhaps.
Could be
Max Flood. That's what I reckon.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll find out whether it's Daniel or Max. But I'm not wishing to be stereotypical based on names, but
yeah,
I'm guessing that might be the case. So
no, that would make sense.
I like the name Max Flood. It sounds.
So let's just quickly update on the Omaha then. So it's the final 7. It's the final table. We started with 95 runners yesterday. Blind to 10,000, 20,000. Plenty of play in this. Average stacks. So it's 35 bigs is the average stack. Up top, third place is going to pick up $580, $830 for second, and $1,250 up top, plus obviously the APAT medals as well. So we'll keep an eye on both of these now. When we get action in either of them, we'll look to show you what's going on. But straight away, actually in the Omaha, Jean's raised it under the gun, and Simon has re-raised it. Gets that through.
Just for anybody who hasn't seen them, there won't be too many, but that's what the guys are playing for tonight. APAT Gold, Silver, and Bronze on top of the cash money, leaderboard prizes, and everything else.
Yeah, so Di says, yeah, on the south coast it's wet and wild as well, where she is. It's always wet and wild where Di is. Am I allowed to say that? Is that not? Yeah, that's
sounds. It
I
sounds
thought
like
Wet and Wild's in
sounds
Newcastle.
like a movie that belongs in a bin, Leigh.
Honestly, Wet and Wild's the name of a water park in Newcastle, like a swimming pool thing in Newcastle.
Well, I think last week I think I called Gordon MacArthur a cheap date. So I'm doing all right.
To be fair, Gordon has been called a lot worse by at least one person on this show.
To be honest, it was the last message that went in the chat last week was after I'd said it was Gordon going true story. Yeah, very, very much the case. So good luck to all of you guys. Playing tonight down to 5 in the Hold'em. 7 just started in the Omaha, and we'll follow all the action of both of them, whilst also trying to keep up to date with the snooker and the football and everything else going on.
We're not keeping up to date with the snooker. We're not.
How are you going to watch this? Are you planning on then not finding the result and then watching all of the game? Have you recorded it? Is that what you're planning on doing?
Yeah, it's on record.
So okay. I never knew you were a big snooker fan.
Oh, I love snooker. Love snooker. I've got some good snooker stories.
Oh, I can imagine they're riveting.
They're probably not riveting. I was never a particularly good player, but it was definitely a sport that I really enjoyed. When I was a young lad
playing it, it's just very difficult because the table is absolutely ginormous, and you generally can't see as far down in the table. It's huge.
I tell you what, it's easy to play some pool and think that you're a good player.
Yep.
Right, small table. If you understand the basics of the game, you can think you're a good player, but you can't get away with that in snooker. No. But when I was a young lad, I organised the first ever county championships for under 18s. So it's local teams and all of that stuff. So a precursor to my APAT days, I would say. But yeah, I would do that sort of stuff. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, just the angles they make it look so easy when you watch them on TV. And I'm there after about 8 pints, trying aiming down through one eye tight and trying to hit this ball, and it goes nowhere near. It's they've got a lot of skill playing that professionally.
And of course, they used to back in the day be playing it after 8 pints. The likes of was it Bill Werbenek and sat there drinking
right.
pints and
for
in the
medical
World
reasons, though,
Championships
Leigh.
and stuff, yeah,
Medical reasons, right? He had a note from his mother to drink. He had to drink all of those pints.
Yeah,
but the point is, and it wasn't just you were doing that when you were practicing or whatever. No, they'd be sat at the at the World Championships or whatever. To think that used to be smoke-filled rooms as well, didn't it?
It's the same with darts, wasn't it? Where you just had people stood on stage getting wrecked up and smoking while they were like just chucking hours like they were down the pub.
That's the only way you could keep the trimmer out of your arm.
But it's amazing how those kind of pub, I suppose pub sports have become professional.
Yeah.
Now over time.
People do still underestimate the skill you need. People to see a darts player hitting a 180 and think, "That looks easy. That how hard could it be?" And then you get a dart in your hand and you're 26 every second throw, and you kind of understand
it's the consistency,
how hard it is. Yeah,
it's just
crazy.
The consistency.
Yeah,
I mean, the practice that goes into, and of course, the snooker players these days. I mean, they're not earning anything like they used to. The sponsorship just isn't there anymore. Is that right?
No, not true. There are
really?
more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there are many more tournaments. So it's tougher because there are many more tournaments and the tour is truly global now. Whereas if you go back to, the good old days of the 80s and 90s, where you might have had some big prizes, particularly for high breaks and stuff like that, 147s, there just weren't anywhere near the volume of tournaments.
There's a lot in China now. It's quite big in over in the Far East, isn't it? I suppose. So that'll be where the money kind of comes in, won't it? When they're in that market, because if they're big into something, they pay a lot of money for it.
Yeah, absolutely. So Aces in the chat says evening all. Follows it up with a 1 ball 1 wide. I see yesterday, Stu Ward.
No. It was 2 balls because I bowled a wide first ball. I got brought on to finish off the over of our 15-year-old pace bowler who unfortunately threw the ball at someone's head and got warned out of the attack. So I brought myself on to bowl the last deliveries over and didn't realise just how cold it was.
I'm not buying any of that at all, Leigh. It's all too technical for me. I think he's lying.
No. Honestly, it is the God's honest truth. I had to come on to bowl the last ball of the over. I bowled a wide that would have been wide on another pitch.
At least you're honest about it.
And then bowled like a dot ball after that. So yeah.
So do your cricket results they get published somewhere, I assume, for
online, all online on the ECB kind of like website.
Things have all moved on though. I'm putting a website together at the moment for a client of mine, but he also runs a football team. It's just a Saturday league football team, and he sent me a link to the FA's kind of database for results and tables and everything now, and phenomenal. Yeah, I used to run Sunday league sides, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago, and everything was paper driven and dealing with Hampshire FA and all that kind of thing. And everything now is proper modern, and say results all get on there, and you got all the leaderboard instantly up on the sites. Incredible stuff.
Well, with the cricket now, gone are the days where everything's written down in like a paper scorebook. I mean, don't get me wrong, I actually still enjoy doing that when I do scoring. I enjoy writing it in
it's a work of art.
Yeah,
some people
it's beautiful.
Do this absolute work of art. Yeah,
but now it's basically everything's done on an iPad. They've got like an app,
and somebody just sits there and just literally click.
No, we pay a young lad £25 a game to come down and do the scoring for us while we're playing. He does 2 games a weekend. He's probably getting a better rate of pay than I'm at work.
Did you ever see there's a great documentary on about one of the companies that does the stats for the betting companies for the live games? And they're sat at say Wimbledon Centre Court, and they're sat there on effectively what looks like a gaming controller. So because obviously they're needing
just
to
tapping
mark
the stats.
Tapping the stats. So and getting in the right sort of place. It's even like following the football when you can have that little pitch view where you can follow the football and so and so is attacking and they've got a serious attack and it's literally somebody in the ground just tapping the buttons for the whole game, and that's a job now. That's an
crazy
job.
It's been a job for a while. That has
but amazing the tech to get, because they've got to be as quick as they can, so basically they can get that information up there and make it and affect the betting markets before you've got a chance to do anything about it. Otherwise it would circumnavigate the whole system. So amazing.
But yeah, thanks for that, Asa, anyway.
Yeah, well, yes. Nice to know somebody cares, though, Stu, enough to
I'm the
check
captain.
what your stats are. So
it's the old saying, why have a dog and bark yourself? Yeah, I'm a captain. Why should I turn up and actually do things at the game when I've got other people I can make do it for me?
That makes perfect sense.
Quite right. You could have somebody carry your balls. I mean,
Actually, my vice captain looks after the balls.
Does he really?
Yeah.
How do you keep those clean? I mean, what level of maintenance?
He takes them home and polishes them. You've got to be careful to only polish one side of the ball, though, Des. You don't want to polish both sides, otherwise it gets a little bit too spicy. So you've got to,
and you certainly don't want to polish your balls during the game, right? Even I.
No. You want to give the balls a good rub during the game to keep the shine. Yeah, you got to give them a good rub during the game.
Okay.
That's when you get the most action out of them.
Okay. I mean, I'm all for, polishing your balls and what have you, but timing is important, Stu.
Exactly.
And I thought it was a no-no.
No, God,
have you ever polished your balls with sandpaper?
No, that's a bit.
That's a no-no, right?
Yeah, that's definitely that's an Australian technique.
That's a dark art, isn't it?
It's cheating, Des. That's what it is. Well, as long as you go on TV and cry about it, apparently everyone feels sorry for you.
But you only want to cry when the bit of sandpaper slips out of your trousers, right?
And then rubs the balls, yeah.
So Asa says should be his first game of the season on Saturday. So
good luck. You've got 3 weeks behind us.
So things are starting to open up again in the way of amateur sports and kind of those recreational sports. Just watching on the Hold'em table, Robin has made a raise and Harrison, chip leader, just shoves his entire stack in. 2.9 million. The raise was to 280,000. Harrison making no nonsense, just going, right, well, all right,
I like
my chips are in. Yeah. What are you going to do?
Listen, guys, a bit of a health warning here, right? Di, right, who's obviously listening in, who in her last 2 posts has talked about chocolate medals and being moist, right? It said, please stop about the balls. It's getting me strangely aroused. I can't picture it, Di. I can't picture it. If you could maybe send a picture, that would be helpful to us all.
Can't have that on a bank holiday.
Come on, Di, get your mind out the gutter, please. I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
We're talking about technicalities of cricket here.
We are not that type of show. Although we could be if the subscription model would work.
Des is still working on the live slots game.
Listen, I'm thinking about the APAT Show on OnlyFans. What do you think, guys? Could we make that work? I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, OnlyFans is the subscription thing, yeah?
Oh, you did that very well, Leigh. You did that very well. Is Jen in the room or what? It's just, let me see just swing your camera around. No, it is the subscription.
Right, okay. Right.
It is the subscription thing.
Which has come out of nowhere.
I don't know the background.
Or has it been around for a while? I don't know.
I don't know the background to it, and I don't quite know what personal information you'd have to give if you were subscribing.
You see it on. It seems to, it's like it's on Twitter and stuff as well. It's just.
It's all over the expert on OnlyFans, I think. Just ask him about
Dies all in and wins. Gets a double up through Simon with a straight.
Well done.
Yep. So no exit so far on the Omaha, and we're still 5-handed now on the Hold'em. Have been for probably since the break, isn't it? Really.
All gone a bit quiet.
Yeah, it has a little bit, but that's always going to be the case as we lose a few, and therefore there's a little bit more play in the game. And
the pay jumps get a little bit bigger as well, don't they? So it'll start getting a little bit, and the stacks will start evening themselves out a bit for the shorter stacks. So it's the case
in the Hold'em now, these guys are all guaranteed $700. The next pay jump is to $950. So it's $250 now for the next place. So they're not going to do play too loose with their stacks.
You've got 2 big stacks, a middle stack, 2 middle stacks, and a shorter stack. But the 1.2 million can still do a lot of damage. So it's just under 9 bigs.
Yeah, no, I was to say it's about 9 bigs, isn't it, Stu? So so it's he can still do some damage. He's still only a third of the chip leader. So it's not, if he doubled up to the chip leader, then they'd be even stacks. So
for me, a lot of that is positional now. It's basically just if it falls down to you, you've got to just cup your cricket balls and shove all in, and go occasionally just to maintain your stack and keep the pressure on other people.
Yeah, but say very tight in the Omaha. Obviously, is with the Omaha. It always seems to be that way. You can actually
This will be an old, isn't it?
can play at a much lower level. Yeah, I can't believe Max is not going to.
Oh, here we go.
Call it, and he does. Max against Yanni. Max.
Oh,
hits a heart,
how on earth?
Gotta look out for those hearts.
but he
Oh,
manages
dear.
to avoid. To be honest, not all the hearts would have helped, but
No.
that's it. We lose Max in 7th place, and Yanni heading up to nearly $1 million in chips now.
That's reasonable shape there. Pretty good shape, actually.
Yeah,
Very
so
good shape.
min cash now. The 6 remaining players in the Omaha are all guaranteed $232. So ticking along quite nicely for them. And as I said, $1,250 up top in that, and obviously APAT medals for the top 3 in both of these. Plenty to play for.
We've got a board here in the hold'em. Michael and Harrison.
It's the two big stacks.
Yeah, I think they're checking this down.
But
Leigh.
there's, as I say, but they're very much
3 takes it.
tentative with their betting there.
There's no need to go nuts blind on blind with the 2 big stacks.
No.
These stacks are just.
Tell me, Stu, have you been following the whole Line of Duty thing at all?
Right, I haven't seen Line of Duty. I watched like the first 4 series. I really liked it, but I kind of slipped off the last couple of series or something. So I need to catch up again. But I want to start. I think I probably want to start watching them from the beginning and then go from there because everyone's been talking about it.
You could have a watch party with the Bromleys because they've not watched any of it. So
I'll be up for that.
They're planning on trying to do that now. So
you should do an APAT Line of Duty watch party. You could charge people Des. I mean, are you a fan of Line of Duty then, or not, Des?
Well, I listen. I can't remember quite how I found it, but I wasn't part of the original sort of Line of Duty watch community. But I found it somewhere along the lines. Watched 1, 2, then there was a gap. 3, and I recently watched 4 and 5, and I really, really enjoyed 4. I thought it was fantastic. 5, I thought was it was okay, but the early ones were magnificent, and I thought 6. There's a lot going on. It's complex, a lot of balls in the air, right? So 6, I think, has set the series up to complete in Series 7. I would say that's my view on 6. But great to see British drama. I love British drama.
It feels a little bit like what they did with Game of Thrones, wasn't it?
Yeah,
you had that kind of that penultimate season, which was just nothing really happened in it, or nothing really kind of felt like it was. Yeah, it was building up. It lost a little bit of momentum, but that does mean there's a potential big finale. Obviously, very much like Game of Thrones.
I think there could be.
Everyone loved that final season of Game of Thrones, didn't they? There was no.
I tell you, the point.
There was no issues with that. You know?
It was no issues whatsoever. Very well received by the community.
Yeah,
I think maybe the point of difference, though, Leigh, might be Game of Thrones entered its final season with a hell of a lot of, strings of storyline to be completed, and they didn't satisfactorily do that. Whereas I think actually Line of Duty, if it does go another season, which I would expect it to, I think they answered a lot of questions last night. So they didn't, maybe not the most satisfactory answers, but it did answer a lot of questions. So I think there's a fairly clean entry into season 7 where there might just be one question. It'd be a lot simpler.
Without spoiling it, that was nicely put. Yeah,
thank you.
So I definitely need to catch it because I mean I was like one of the people that I'm one of the original ones, that watched it before all the hype started over the last year, type of thing. And I watched loads of it, then I stopped because I don't watch much TV. But I just need to get caught up again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, honestly, I've loved it.
I think they probably went. I'd love to see a kind of rule. I think they've probably gone a couple of seasons too far, but that can be the same said for lots of things that you really enjoy. Loved Prison Break, but then
that got a bit ridiculous, didn't it?
It just got silly, and it's like, well, you just don't need to do that.
Sons of Anarchy was the same. It was like it all gets a little bit far fetched, and they've got to keep on grasping for new storylines when they could have said, "This is what you've had. We can't do anything else that's going to be believable." I think. Thank you.
Yeah, and sometimes you just kind of you get the right thing, and they know enough's enough. It's like I always go. It's Faulty Towers is always the perfect example of just like 12. That's all they needed.
Can't believe there's only 12. Can't
I
believe
love, I love that program. Oh God.
But
That's something if you want more, they've left it at the right spot. If you've got everyone on Facebook going, that was garbage finish, right? Then you've probably gone a bit too far. Because all I've seen on Facebook is people just whinging about it.
Interesting pot building in the Hold'em. It was a raise under the gun from Michael, only a min raise, but Tim's shoved all in. Mazel from the small blinds having a think. He's ended up folding as Robin does from the big blind. So back to Michael. He makes the call. It's ace queen against sixes.
Race.
The sixes are at risk. Oh, what a flop!
Oh wow, flop!
What a flop for Michael.
Six.
Just need to avoid the 6, and he does. And we're going to lose Tim Pullman in fifth place from the Netherlands. He's going to pick up $700, and we're down to 4. We're on the medal bubble in this one.
I'll tell you, we're getting a news flash in from the chat box. Mr. Baker tells us that Jack Bauer's daughter, that would be Kim, has been kidnapped for the 23rd time. I thought 24 was magnificent.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I never watched 24 first time round, so that was one of the things I was thinking today. So here's a question for you both: if you could watch any TV series again as if you'd never watched it before. So you got that whole buzz of watching it. Yeah.
But I could watch it as if it was new today.
Yeah, as if it was new today. So you got a chance to watch it all over again as if you'd never seen it before. So as you must think plenty of times when somebody says, "Oh, I've not watched this," or "I've not," and you go, "Oh, God." What would you pick?
Well, it's very difficult.
That's a hard question, Leigh. Well,
it's 2 comes to mind for me, right? Well, 3. There's probably 3. I would have 3. But I'd need to watch them as if they were new today, right? So 24 would be one of the 3. I won't put them in order. It will be one of the 3. But, I've tried watching, reruns. And to be honest, it's in the old 4x3 format, season 1. So it's really, really old. And of course, so it need to feel fresh and new. 24 I thought was magnificent. And the other 2 are absolute no-brainers for me. Game of Thrones and The Walking Dead. Loved.
Oh, really? You'd put The Walking Dead in there, would you?
I would.
I'm going to upset you here.
Go on.
I have watched about 3 episodes of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And probably less episodes of The Walking Dead.
No, but I mean, it's not for everyone, right?
It's weird. It's like
really
Game
isn't.
of Thrones, right? I managed to, it took me about 8 attempts to get through episode 1.
Yeah, see, I just immediately loved it. But we're all different.
It's weird because I like fantasy. I like fantasy guys, and it should be put in the same kind of categories like Lord of the Rings for me. And honestly, I'm a massive Lord of the Rings geek.
I tell you,
but
ironically,
there's something about it. I think it's the fact that I knew that Sean Bean was had died or was going to die. And it upsets me. I love Sean Bean.
Can't know that, right? That's a killer if you know that.
No,
because
Sean Bean is acting in a TV program. He's going to die.
I thought he died in James Bond. Did he not die in the James Bond film?
Yes, he did. Yeah,
he did. Yeah.
He dies in everything. It's a fact. He dies in
Sharp.
everything.
He died in Sharp.
Yes, he died in Sharp. Yes.
Yeah.
He died in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, but he didn't have to die in season 1, right?
No, of course.
But ironically, I don't like fantasy, and I could have as easily turned Game of Thrones off with the first 3, 4 minutes, 5 minutes of season 1 episode.
All in the call. Aces for Robin. Ace Queen for Harrison. It's looking good for Robin.
10, no.
And we're going to lose Harrison.
That's a huge pot.
Massive pot. They both had very similar stacks. They had about 2.5 million or 2.6 million each. Robin has now got 5.5 million. Goes into the chip lead. We are 3 left. Harrison Rowlands just misses out on the medals. Very good run from him. He was chip leader overnight.
Did we say 3? 3 series.
Yeah. So what were you 3, Stu?
I don't know. It's difficult. Okay.
It is difficult.
Heroes. I missed that program.
We can be heroes.
Maybe it was a great show. I loved that. We were talking about it today, and I just realised how much I missed it.
Was that the Steven Spielberg?
I don't know if he directed it, but it was
war type thing. It was
like about people with superpowers and stuff. It was
okay,
but it was unbelievable. I just realised today how much I missed watching. So I have to rewatch that. I'm trying to think what else. I just like a lot of things.
It's difficult. It is a difficult question.
One on my list, 100% would be The Wire. The Wire.
Yeah,
100%.
I found The Wire late, Lee. And
I did as well. It was my first real one where I started binging series, and yeah.
But when I looked at the first couple of episodes, because they were like shot 20 years ago, or felt they were shot 20 years, I found it so hard to get into it. I can imagine that, you know, if I was watching it there at the time, I'd have been taken by it, but I just couldn't get in. But I've seen a lot of people will mention The Wire.
Yeah, and I'd probably also throw The Sopranos into the mix there.
Okay.
But again, Sopranos was another one that
Sopranos is a very good call.
Sopranos was very, very good. I mean, I enjoy Breaking Bad, but I'm not sure whether I'd put it in my top three. I'm not sure.
I think Peaky Blinders might be up there for me.
Peaky Blinders? You're having a laugh, aren't you?
That is one of the greatest TV shows I've ever seen.
Say that again and I'll kill you, like.
So let's see what we got in the chat going on here. Simon Lawler says Breaking Bad. Rich Baker says Game of Thrones. Greg Mawson says The Wire. Tony Ross says Only Fools and Horses. Actually, that's a good shout.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Simon Lawler says Heroes is amazing.
There you go. You say Simon knows.
Rich Baker says Would Babe Station count?
I think it counts.
Yeah.
It only ever had season 1, but there were a lot of episodes. Yeah. It was a cast of thousands.
I'm not sure whether Simon Lawler's referring to Babe Station that's being rerun on BBC Two currently, or it might be Heroes.
I don't think they're rerunning Babe Station on BBC Two. I really don't.
No, possibly not. The Wire was superb. Yeah, but Sopranos, I think would be up there. Definitely Sopranos, The Wire, and I was late to 24. I didn't watch it originally.
24.
Oh, Westworld.
Oh, that's not a bad shout.
That's just got my head there. Honestly, I loved that when I watched that. It was like
season 1 was good. It's gone a little bit.
Yeah, a bit. I see what you mean. But just being able to watch season 1 again without ever watching it. You know, I can remember watching it. It just blew my mind. It was fantastic.
There were 2 series that stand out for me from when I was a kid. Right, when I was a youngster, that made a big impression on me. One was Roots. I don't know if you ever saw Roots. Magnificent, absolutely.
Was that the one about the dentists?
No. It was about. I'm not even going to go there. It was about slavery. It was just. Amazing.
It made me laugh. Like,
all in a call. Are the Hold'em? It's 8-8 for Robin. It's King 6 for Mizell, and Robin hits the ace, and we're heads up. We are heads up in the Hold'em. Mizell Cardoso finishes 3rd for Brazil. He picks up $1,415 plus the bronze medal. Very much well done to you. So we are heads up. It's Robin Johansson from Sweden against Michael Kosmis from Germany, playing for nearly $3,000 plus the gold medal.
Yanni.
Oh, Yanni's put a quarter in there.
Boardwalk Empire and Gomorrah, which sounds like some sort of curse. It's like a curse on your family. Yeah, Boardwalk Empire in particular. That has been a biggie.
Rich Baker's put one that I was thinking of, West Wing. West Wing is absolutely outstanding.
House of Cards.
House of Cards. That obviously got tarnished with what went on in the last season, but ultimately, that was amazing.
Yeah. It was fantastic. Fantastic.
Red Dwarf was another one I was thinking of, actually. I can remember when I used to sit up when I was younger and watch Red Dwarf with my dad on a night time. I was allowed to stay up on Friday night to watch Red Dwarf. And I can remember watching it.
There's so many good ones. Frank Bailey's come up with Ozark, which was magnificent.
Oh, Ozark's is amazing. Yeah, and still going, isn't it? That's still running, isn't it?
Yeah, they finished season 3, I think.
Some geeky ones for me would be like The Punisher on Netflix.
Didn't see
it's a Marvel one, like one of their characters, and honestly, brilliant. Like the whole series is super.
You like your Marvel, don't you? You like big men in spandex, right?
Oh,
I get it.
I mean, after that night we had in Luton, Des. I mean,
sorry, we had a big night in Luton.
Honestly, people don't know, but one of the perks of winning an APAT is that you get to see Des in his spandex.
Which is the reason why.
Believe me, that would not be a perk.
The reason why when I got that hand in with Stu, Ace King versus Ace King, and he hit his flush, I genuinely wasn't that disappointed.
Celebrated. I thought it was really
Simon Lawler, the one Simon Lawler, has pulled an absolute ace out of the bag. He said the BBC version of House of Cards was better, and that was an amazing show.
Simon, you
say.
may say that. I couldn't possibly comment.
It was amazing. I have to say, the BBC version. There's a lot of good stuff out there, guys. A lot of good stuff.
I think there's so many things now. You look back. I'm literally scrolling through my Netflix watch again thing now, just to try and like remind myself. There's a lot of crap on here, like.
But isn't that? I mean, I don't know. Do you do the same as me? I kind of like have to go through and go, yeah. Well, I'll just remove that off my watch list because actually, otherwise, it's going to start putting up stuff which I thought that was going to be good, and actually, you watch and go, it's actually, it's a load of rubbish.
But my watch list has got Star Trek: The Next Generation on it, which I'm happy about because I need to watch that again. So
let me give you a quick Gary Young leaderboard update. He's clinging on, Des.
Star Trek.
He's currently in 20th. He's currently in 20th position. Very good. He's currently in 20th position with just these Omaha results to go. Is he going to be able to hang on?
Can he hold, Lee? Can he hold?
Can he hold and be the first one to pick up $109 ticket? He just can't afford to be overtaken by anybody else.
I want to recount, Lee. If he does it, I want to recount. I want to see all the votes again.
The only positive thing for him is that if whoever wins the Omaha can't go above him, so it's got to be one of the ones that has already got points to get above him. Otherwise, he's going to hang on and do it. And the two players that have got points in the Omaha, one of them is currently all in.
Oh, let's have a look.
And Di's won that one, so she's still got some stacks. So it's Di and Yanni are the two that I think can overtake Gary Young for the leaderboard.
Do we know how far they'd have to get, Lee? Would one position be enough, or do we need a win?
Oh, it's probably going to be Yanni probably can do it with less than a win. Yanni needs actually Yanni might have already done it. Yanni needs 31 points to overtake Gary. Let's see whether 31's already. I may be talking. Yeah, I think one position I think will do it for Yanni, and we'll be saved the $109 ticket.
Drama. Well, listen, we're getting
Stu,
more.
we can add it to the bar fund. Yeah,
let's go.
Let's do it. We're getting.
But whilst all that's going on, we're all over in the Hold'em.
Oh,
missed it.
Michael Cosmis has done the win. Came from behind chip wise, beats Robin Johansson. Robin finishes in second place, picking up the silver medal and $2,048. Michael Cosmis from Germany is the April Hold'em champion, picking up $2,935 and the APAT gold medal. Very well Fantastic. Done to everybody in that. So we can now focus in on the Omaha. Still six-handed.
Well, listen, focus in on the Omaha might be too strong a statement, Lee. We've never focused in on anything for any period of time, I have to say.
That's true.
And the chat box will not allow us to focus in at the moment. Rich Baker says, does the coverage of Leigh's win at DTD count as a series? That's a very friendly mention. Did you have to stick him with like a little 33 ticket or something to remind us all of your victory there?
Yeah, I dropped him a message, just said, Rich, if you just mention the Sky Sports.
Did you win something at DTD?
He did apparently,
episodes.
but that one doesn't count because it was only one season.
It was very much only one season. Yeah.
We're all awaiting the second season. It's been years. It's been years.
It'll be a longer wait than Line of Duty, that's for sure. Yeah.
Right, now Ace has got me stumped here. He says the ultra geek in me would find it a tough choice between, Deep Space Nine or Voyager. I get those two.
Yeah,
TNG, what's TNG?
The next generation.
The next generation. Yeah. I never really could get into the add-on Star Trek series.
So Star Trek wise, the latest one on Netflix is incredible.
Yeah, really good.
Really, really good. And if you haven't seen, I'm trying to think what it's on. It's either on Amazon or Apple, but it's the Picard series spin-off. That's really good as well. Really, really good.
Oh no, there we go. There's another one. Another one from me kind of like teenage years when we were having tea and watching like Sky One, Stargate.
Yeah, Stargate
SG-1,
didn't it?
Oh, what a program!
Did it become a bit repetitive? I'm
no, I
guessing
didn't
not.
care. Honestly,
I'm guessing
I
not.
think it's like 10 series or something of the first one, and they had like a spin-off one,
Yeah.
Atlantis, which is really good as well. But
Well,
I used to
Nellie's-
love that program.
Listen, guys,
Used to
Nellie is
love
out
it.
there, and she has ticked the box of Ozark. She's watching that now. I have to say that just got better and better for me.
Do you think Ozark, when they launched, they just put? Do you think they put the quote from Frank Bailey on there? Just going, Frank Bailey, Irish poker captain, says Ozark's for me with a little thumbs up.
Yeah.
Do you think they just did that?
Ozark's for me in quotes
all
and
the
are underneath
promo
in a
they
smaller
need, yeah.
font size Frank of Ireland.
Yeah. That's all they need to do, isn't it? It's like it's good enough. Well, Di's all in. She's got a very short stack, unfortunately, just one big. And
Come on,
she's
Di.
been called,
No, you
been
call
called
everywhere,
by
yeah.
Yanni. Yeah,
This is a good pot to win, Di. Let's
James
go.
called as well. So this is a quadruple up for Di if she can win this one. Hoping she's got a
Have
couple
them
of
nines.
nines there. Oh, now I wanted to have a couple of kings. Yeah.
Holy
It looks like they're checking it all the way down.
Holy Mother of Godly.
Oh. We don't want any bent hands
Oh,
here.
good. That's good. That's good. We like that.
That's going to offer
That's
a bit
our
of
quad.
protection. Is Daniel going to make the call? Doesn't.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
ace king for Yanni.
Boo.
So
Nice hand, Yanni.
bust.
You got to say nice hand, Yanni. You got that.
Oh, yeah, nice hand.
Unlucky
Yanni,
Di.
No, Di Farrell from the UK finishes in sixth place, picking up $232.60.
well played, Di.
She gets
Oh,
that.
he's in again.
Here we go. We're straight
She
in
gets-
now. It's all action.
Simon
How
was
on earth
fairly
he's
short.
short, yeah.
There. Well, yeah, he was
Honestly,
short
I won't lie to you. I looked at his hand and didn't look at his stack, and I was like, what?
Yeah, so $232.60 for Di. She turns that into sterling. It'll be about 200 quid for her. Get down the pub and spend it.
Yeah.
And in fifth place there, Simon Stonewitter from Austria picks up $295. And we're now on the medal bubble, guys. 4 left.
Wow. Beginning to move on a bit quickly now.
We certainly are. And of course, all that means with Yanni still in, Des.
Yeah. Is
Sorry,
that it?
Gary. Sorry,
Oh,
Gary.
no, Gary, no.
Gary is going
This
to be
looks
20.
distraught. This
Gary
outfit.
is going to be 21st on the leaderboard now, which means he's going to miss out on the step 5 ticket.
Oh, can we do anything for him, Leigh? Can we give him a
No,
compliment?
no.
No, we can't.
All we can do, all we can say, silver linings and all that is it's a championship week. And we know what a championship week means, Des.
It means you don't slide down, right? You
We
get another
don't,
shot
yeah.
next week.
We don't, anybody that doesn't
No
make the top
relegation.
20, we don't drop a point or a step down for championship week because so many more runners play. So we do the fair thing and give you another shot at it the following week. So we'll still put you up a step. If you're in the top 20, we'll move you up a step, but we don't drop anybody down a step for championship week. So you can have another go at it next week. And there'll be a couple that I think will be joining him on step 5 next week, Des. And we are gonna have a real sweat on next week because I think Lewis Tabib from Austria is going to be step 5 next week. Mr. Wigglesworth is going to be step 5 next week. Tony Ross is going to be step 4 next week.
Mother of God, Leigh.
We're going to have Gary Young step 5. I mean, seriously, it is going to be like an OCG going at us. We're going to be in a whole heap of trouble from all angles next week, looking to pick up the big value tickets.
Oh, I tell
To
you
get
what,
your
Leigh.
tin hat out next week, Des. You're getting shot out from all angles here.
Oh, I tell you, there's only one thing I can say, lads.
Superintendent Hastings, like the battle. Bent coppers. I've seen
That's
enough.
it. That's all I've got for you guys.
Bend coppers.
Bent coppers.
Yanni's at it again, and Zoltan is going to pay
Yanni's
the
on a
price
rampage, are you?
with the diamonds, and we're 3-way now. It's Yanni with 1.5 million. Jean's got 2.4 million, and Daniel with 800,000. They are our final 3.
Well done.
Daniel from Sweden, Yanni from the UK, and Jean from Belgium. So good luck to the 3 of you.
Oh, we have made the medals. Well done, guys.
Yeah, absolute. That can happen with Omaha, though, Stu. Yeah,
Yep.
it can be steady. Then all of a sudden, some
go
chips,
bang, bang,
chips
bang,
go in, and you lose a bunch of players quite quickly. Yeah.
See, people get quite short stacked, and then it's like your calling ranges get wider, and your shoving ranges get very wide, and Yeah, you can lose 3 or 4 people in the space of about 5 minutes, and then you're down to 3, where it's going to get a bit tighter again, probably.
Talk about an absolute rub down. So Tony Ross has just said in the chat, don't forget Yanni's now made step 2.
He's just absolutely shone him up there. He's shone him up. Don't be like that, Tony. Don't be like that. Yanni is highly thought of in Ilfracombe. I know he is. I've seen dispatches. And Asa said, genuine question, but it feels like a bit of a rub down to me, I have to say. But it's a genuine question. How did you guys cope with the second leg of the semi-final on those European nights? I think City are going to be okay. I really don't think you have a lot to worry about, Asa. Although I have to say, I think PSG can score goals, but I think City can absolutely score goals too. So I'm expecting a pretty good game on. It's Tuesday night, I think, the City game tomorrow night. I think it could be a high-scoring semi-final.
Well, I think it's an interesting one because, as I say, I mean, a genuine question for Asa, because obviously City don't make Champions League semi-finals, really, do they? So it's a kind of I'd argue it's more nail-biting than possibly the final itself. If you make it to the final, that missing out in the semi-finals, the second leg of the semi-finals is brutal, isn't it? And it's still on a knife edge, very much so. Unlike the Man United Roma game, which is
I don't think City's on a knife edge. What are they ahead? 2-1? 3-2?
Do you not think so? No, it's 2-1.
Is it 2-1 or 3-1?
No, it's 2-1.
2 away goals as
2-1.
well. Of course,
That's
that game over. City are the best team in the world at the minute.
Yeah, I mean,
you can't give them 2 away goals and expect to go to City and not have them score.
Yeah, I can't see PSG winning that by two goals. I can see them scoring 2 goals, but I can see City scoring 5. Yeah. Because PSG are pretty open and City are magnificent. They're going through a great period at the moment.
Obviously, as a Middlesbrough fan, the Champions League is above my pay grade, talking about semi-finals and stuff. But we have made the UEFA Cup semi-finals and final before. Yeah. And that was one of the most nerve-wracking nights of my life, watching that one in the stadium type thing.
So do we think it's going to be City versus Chelsea?
It's looking that way, isn't it? I think Chelsea still have a bit of work to do.
The Chelsea one worries me a bit more.
Yeah, I think they've still got a bit of work to do because I think Real Madrid are capable of scoring 2 away. And, a 2-2 would put Real Madrid...
it could obviously be... It could be 4 English sides in
all 4
the 2
games.
Finals. Because Arsenal somehow managed to come away with a sort of a result, considering how bad they were on the night.
And there's all sorts of, potential configurations whereby, the team that finishes 4th in the Premier League might miss out on Europe.
Really?
If the English clubs win the 2 European Cups, and then if Chelsea miss out, then Chelsea
Chelsea won the Champions League and Arsenal won the Europa League.
That's right.
Whoever finished 4th in the league, then because they couldn't have any more than 5 in there.
Maximum 5 clubs. Yeah.
I didn't realise that was a.
I think Arsenal are a long shot. I don't like their chances at all to win the Europa League.
On any given day.
But I think they still have to. They still have to do a better job in the second leg of the semi-final to get there.
But to get an away goal gives them a fighting chance now, and they probably didn't. And they probably didn't even deserve that.
If Man United don't win that, then
United are far superior to Arsenal. And so I agree with you, but I just think I can't see it. But you're right. I wouldn't be backing it myself, but it isn't impossible. But I think for Chelsea to win the Champions League and not make the top 4, and Arsenal to win the Europa League.
It's a lot of very specific outcomes that need to happen here.
So Jean applying pressure here. Yanni made it up to 140,000, and
I like that.
And Jean just says, right, okay, we'll let's see what you're made of.
I love that.
And that was as chip leader going in and shows Ace.
Don't show it.
Yeah, and what came in as chip leader coming into this final table, and pretty much I think it's been at the top of the stacks for the duration. We've only been playing 45 minutes. We've gone from 7 down to 3. So question from Asa in the chat. Quiz question.
It's a good question.
One British club has played a 2-leg European game where they won the first leg 6-2 and got knocked out. Who was it? Wow.
That's nothing that comes to mind from me.
Pass.
Can't believe it's recent.
Doesn't feel recent because
Okay, so I'm going to narrow it down. I'm going to say it's a Scottish club, somebody like Dundee or Aberdeen.
Ah, right. Okay, so he said one British club. Okay, yeah.
I can't remember it, but I'd have to say probably.
Well, you find it someone like it's Lingfield or someone like
that.
Yeah,
crikey, no, because they said semi-final. It's like
no, he didn't say. He didn't say semi-final.
Oh, no, you're right. You didn't. Why did I take semi-final from that? So no, that could be almost anyone.
Yeah, they lost 4-0 in the second leg. Apparently.
Don't know.
Wow.
But I know, what was it, 2 years ago in a semi-final? Liverpool won the second leg 4-0 to go through.
What a night that was.
Haven't
what
been
a night
3-0 down.
Was.
Oh, dude, I've never heard that mentioned before.
It was my birthday. It was a wonderful birthday present, I have to say.
I mean, that's just a ridiculous night. I mean, it's not just the fact of doing that, it's who you're doing it against.
Yeah.
Which is
you say it's right, but Borough, like in the quarterfinal and semi-final of the UEFA Cup, had to score 4 goals in an hour each time to go through.
That's equally as impressive. I don't care who you're playing; it's just so
it's
unlikely.
Crazy. When it happened, it was like I remember the second time it happened. I was literally sat like right at the back of the south stand, and I was just sat there on my seat when the 4th goal went in.
Yeah,
I was just sat there. I was like, I don't even know what's going on anymore. It was crazy.
That's my guilt in following Liverpool. And that's why, sometimes you just have to close your eyes and think, if I followed a club that didn't have those opportunities, how do you go through life as a football fan, massively passionate about your club, and you don't get those experiences? So you might do it in a league game, or you might do it in a cup game or whatever, but to have that on the big stage for big trophies is just, it's an insane feeling. It keeps you pumped for weeks. It's crazy.
As the representative of the small clubs in this discussion, you just find that every game means a hell of a lot. So I've been to playoff finals and stuff like that, where it's just like they're our European nights, and whatever. It's like I've seen Borough in like the old Wembley. I've seen Borough at the new Wembley type thing, and I hate Wembley because we never win there. But it's like you find the experiences in different ways. It's just yours are magnified onto a bigger scale, whereas ours are on a smaller scale, but are probably more intense for the.
I don't know if it makes sense to you, Stu, this one, but seeing that from the other side, with a big club who has experienced a lot of big moments, I get as excited for Villa away, albeit I don't want to talk about the last Villa away game, but I get as excited for that game as I do for a big one. I'll get as up on a good result coming out of something like that as I will almost any other game.
Cat, guess who's in the chat?
Oh,
yes.
Phoebe's here, is she?
Here we go.
Finally,
welcome back, Phoebe. Welcome back.
There we go. She replied. She ignored me on Facebook for about 3 hours.
So Ace has changed it to say it's an English club. So Don Logan's asked, is it Everton?
Oh, I hope it's Everton. I hope it's Everton.
It's not Everton. So a little bit of with the Omaha, just to add a bit more to this. If Yanni can win this, he'll go into the top 5 for the week, and he therefore won't just win one $5.50 ticket. He'll win 2. I mean, there's an incentive.
Big stakes.
Massive. So don't worry about the $1,250 up top, the APAT gold medal, the plaudits you'll get from your colleagues and the whole of Ilfracombe poker for winning this. You'll double your added value tickets, $5.50 tickets from 1 to 2.
Wow.
I mean,
fantastic.
Let's
fantastic.
go.
It's just never ending, really.
I'll tell you, to somebody like Yanni, that is just a magnificent lift in his bankroll. That's just get that money in, Yanni. Right? Get that in. Can you withdraw that? Can you take that out?
No, unfortunately not. You have to use them. You have to spin them up.
Because I don't know about you guys, but if I could take that money out, I would be putting that straight into my bond ticket for October. Right, because that movie is going to come out someday soon. It's going to come out while 16:9 is still in format.
All in the call. Daniel's hit the hearts and is going to double up through Jean. And yeah, he does do that, which means Daniel goes into second spot now. Very close between the three of them here, though.
So listen, Phoebe's here. You won't know this, Stu, and Phoebe, I don't think will know this. But when Leigh said, "Oh, Stu's going to join us," I said, "Great. Hopefully, we get Phoebe as well." Because I really like it when Phoebe comes onto the stream.
She just trails behind me like
I like it. It adds a bit of international flavour, which is a good thing for APAT, right? That's a good thing to have. And I said, I quite like it when she calls Stu Cat. And she's already in there calling you Cat. And I feel that warm glow inside that
there
only a cup win
it's like being back with the world all over again, isn't it? I mean?
So Asa says it was in the 80s and it's a current championship club. It's not Forest then, is it?
No. Forest were golden in the 80s.
Derby?
It could be
Would Derby have gone into Europe in the 80s?
I was born in the 80s, so I'd have a clue.
Oh, it's terrible, this. Watford?
Watford wouldn't have qualified for Europe, would they?
They could have done through the cup or something. Didn't they have a few cup runs?
No, they semi-finalists, didn't they? They lost to Everton, didn't they, in the cup?
Tell you what, Asa, give us a better clue. Give us the first three letters of their name. And just put a hashtag in front of that, and that'll really help us.
And tell us what it rhymes with. Yeah. Nope. So it's none of those. Current championship side that would have played in Europe in the 80s.
I don't even know championship sides, Leigh. I tend not to look down that far.
Oh, hang on. When were Norwich playing in Europe?
Being a fan of a Super League club, I don't look down that far.
When were Norwich playing in Europe when they beat Bayern?
Oh, yeah,
was that the 80s?
They couldn't have lost a 4-0 lead. That was Jeremy Goss. That would have been in the 80s. Yeah, I'd have thought so. Yeah, definitely. But they weren't that bad, were they?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, here we go. Phoebe's come in with a joke. I'd forgotten Phoebe's jokes. Hey, Des, what if Cinderella was a cooking slave instead of a cleaning slave? She'd have been called mozzarella.
Terrible. Don't laugh. It's awful. Stop it. You can see this.
Mozzarella? We mentioned The Sopranos earlier, didn't we? We did. We did,
yes. Yeah, we covered that one off.
So Asa says
I got very late
nope.
I got very late into watching Ray Donovan as well, which was
didn't get there.
And I think it was. Am I right in saying Tony Trippier's Facebook account used to be Tony Ray Donovan Trippier?
No idea.
Well, so I'm sure it did.
Yeah,
I often wondered,
definitely did,
yeah, and I often wondered why.
That's
and I think
very...
I eventually watched the first season and actually quite enjoyed it. So I ended up watching all of it. So
that is very disturbing. I can't quite explain.
Was really Norwich Bayern was 1993. Wow.
Did you notice that Tony Trippier made our cover, Leigh?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
I mean, how did that happen? Strange things.
Nothing wrong with that.
Strange things. So apparently this team lost to Partizan Belgrade, if memory serves. No,
or Partizan, or Partizan Belgrade, even. Yeah.
What did I say? Partizan.
Yeah, Partizan. Yeah.
Partizan. I tell you what, Leigh, can you pronounce the new name for Red Star Belgrade? It's like
if they changed
Szozova, they're like Szozova or something like that. I can't.
Oh, right, okay.
Be able to pronounce it. But
well, we're five to the hour, which means we are three-handed left in this Omaha, and players are on a break for 5 minutes.
So one letter would give it away, guys. That's a clue. That's the clue we needed. So it's got to be an unusual letter. I should really be just looking at the championship table now and just combing through.
Well, so is it Queen's Park Rangers then? Is it? But do they play in Europe?
They'd never played in Europe, did they? No. But that's a good pull out of thin air.
Yeah. Only on if we're going on the first letter, we'll give it away. Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
No, this is. I mean, this is worse than on season 6.
I'm trying to think I'm trying to think in the 80s how teams qualified. I thought it was just the champions went through to the European Cup.
Well,
it is QPR. So how did QPR qualify for Europe then? UEFA Cup. Must have been the UEFA Cup. But that must mean did they finish second in the league once? Second or third in the league? Maybe they did.
Maybe, yeah. Can't remember that at all.
Quite possibly. Yeah, difficult to know, but massive turnaround in the Omaha. Yanni's had a short stack here. Both Daniel and Jean have got 2.1 million, and Yanni's down on 550,000 when they come back from the break. Blinds are at 25,000, 50,000. So Yanni's playing on 11 bigs. Still plenty in an Omaha game, but
I'm just going to do it for a quick ciggy, if that's okay.
yeah,
while
no,
we're having
you
a-
crack
for
on,
having a
Stu.
break.
Go for it.
And I need to refill my Desperados.
Desperado.
Oh, now look where you started. Yeah.
Sorry, I'll leave you all with
Why
that.
don't you come to your senses? I think I could have been a singer, Lee. I could have been.
You reckon?
I'd have been far.
Reckon?
I'd have been far happier.
Would you really?
I
though?
just can't sing, though. You know.
If you could have a talent,
Yeah. Oh,
What
that's
would
a
you-
good
what would you
That
go
is a
for?
good question.
what would you
I would
pick
l-
if you could pick a talent?
Juggler.
And it can't be be
Juggler.
sporting. I say it can't be sporting because that's obviously because the obvious one is
Definitely. You know, I don't want to say, you know, I'd like to be a successful rock star. I don't want to say that. I would just like to be able to sing.
Yeah. Okay.
Play a nice,
properly hold, which is why
play a
you
nice
really
musical
want to watch.
instrument.
You really want to watch that program I said to you about last night.
So I watched it. I watched the first episode last night.
Did you?
After
What
the
did you make of
show.
it?
Well, I laughed. I laughed because one of the people, you'll remember this, said one of the experts said, I did a lying course. So they taught us in the lying course how to spot people who lie. People who lie look to the left all the They look to the left. So you're lying. Wasn't lying at all. Wasn't lying at all.
That song. But isn't
The
it
only
great
one lying were the people who ran the lying course.
Yeah. So, but isn't it great when
it was
one
funny.
of the non-singers hits that first note is just something else.
Remember the guy who didn't look like a singer, right? Do you remember him? Do you remember him?
There's been about 3 or 4 of them now, so I can't have to.
So theatrical looking bloke, didn't look like a singer. They had him out. No way. Oh my God, he was magnificent. Magnificent. And that's the beautiful thing. You can have an amazing voice, doesn't matter what you look like.
Yeah.
So I thought that was quite novel.
I'd say it's a clever idea. And that seems to be the thing.
Oh no. I think we've lost Leigh. He's got all frozen.
Oh, again, really?
Oh, there you are. You're back now.
Oh, that's okay. That happened last night. I could still hear you, but then the camera went all frozen. Yeah, it's the circle on Channel 4 where they're trying to pretend to be somebody else, and
Don't like that.
I find it difficult to follow. I just can't be bothered with it. It's not the sort of thing you can pick up and put down. You've either got to watch the whole lot or
I just think they all feel too fake to me. Phoebe says, did you all hear the story of how Cat, right, that's Stu, for anybody who's listening in who doesn't understand the Cat reference, that's Stu, locked himself in the bathroom the other day. The handle fell off. It made me very happy. Oh, to have had a camera on the wall inside the bathroom for that would have been very special, I'm sure.
That's what friends are for, isn't it? Yeah.
He may or may not have thrown the handle out the window.
You've up to say I've locked myself in my bathroom and the handles come off, and your friend just literally laughs down the phone at you. That's
listen,
true
from
friend.
time to time, I will say this, Leigh, with no hint of a joke. When Sean goes up to Wales, right, she brings the kids, goes up for a half term or whatever. I'm stuck here, right, on my own in the house. Whatever bathroom I'm going into, I'll leave that door unlocked. I mean, I might leave it open. I am not taking any chances with that shit, right? I do not want to be locked in a bathroom with an unhealthily small window, right? Because I'm not going through that. I can't go through that. I'd have to lose a lot of weight to get out. For God's sake.
Who's now in the chat whilst he's having his bit of fresh air.
He's sat on the loo, isn't he? Just watching on his phone.
Oh dear. Yeah.
It's classic.
Love it.
We're back, Leigh.
Absolutely
We're back.
love it.
We're back.
Yeah,
here.
we are. We'll see how Yanni decides to play this now. Blinds are at 25,000, 50,000. So Yanni's got 9.5 bigs. Let's see what he decides to do, whether he just sees a spotlight when Daniel opens here, whether Yanni decides to let rip, but doesn't this time round. But at some point he's going to look to do that and commit to a hand, and that'll be that, and we'll see how it pans out. Interesting. Limps into this one. wants to see a flop. I mean, I'm guessing Yanni thinks perhaps his post-flop play.
Nice.
He's got an edge. Well, he's certainly induced a bet here from Daniel, and they've got it all in.
Nice
And
shape. Very nice shape now.
Beautiful. That's done. That is done for Yanni, and there were still
Nice
outs for Daniel after the flop, but once another diamond came on the turn, that was it done for. And Yanni's back in the game now.
I swear I'm going to kill her one day.
Were you out there looking for your handle, Stu?
Don't. It was a right. So, Mother Ward was she was through babysitting my nephew. Like he's got cerebral palsy, and she was looking after him for the day through at my sister's house. And I've gone to the toilet and done my business. And
too much detail already.
Got to open the door, and it just wouldn't open. So I've had to ring my mum to like, look, I'm locked in the bathroom. Yeah.
Just decided not to go the Facebook route, did you?
Well, it's not a call in your 30s you ever really want to make, is it?
No,
really?
But literally, she had to pack my nephew up in the car, drive through to the house. She walked over, and basically the handle had come loose on the other side and dropped off and pulled the pin out. So basically, it wasn't connected to the handle on the inside.
Hey, it can happen.
Yeah, so she opened the door. I literally just walked out, picked up the handle, and obviously I've had to open the window when I was in there because
just as well
reasons, and she just picked the handle up while she was going back downstairs. Walked out, and she walked out the front door and in time to see the door handle go sailing out with the bathroom window. In the front garden.
That's been installed on somebody else's house now, and is an accident waiting to happen for them.
Oh God! It was just like I just walked over. I was like, oh no, oh no, please. Yeah, thanks, Phoebe. Thanks. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you want to do it the Far Eastern way. You don't so much as have a door on your loo. You don't even necessarily have the walls. You just stoop over there and do your thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I wish that'd have been handy. That would, but no, I got locked in there with. Yeah, we won't go into too many details because it's you just gone past 9 o'clock, and no one needs to hear about that. But you can imagine. Apparently, it was one of the funniest things Jared ever heard when it happened.
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, bless. Oh.
He rang me up just laughing, and then hung up on me.
I can well believe that.
Yeah.
As I said, that's what you expect from your friends, isn't it?
Oh, exactly. Yeah. Just keep on getting called out on it. Yeah.
There's a call here.
That's a big.
Sean's
big
Daniel's
flush, and Daniel's in a real commanding position now, isn't he?
Yeah, huge now. Yeah.
Mr. Baker is out there. James, hope you're well. Just crouch wherever. Quite right. Oh, hello. Here we go.
Misses the straight.
We're going to lose Yanni in third. Bronze medal winging its way to Yanni. Well played.
You've got to think that Daniel's a massive favourite now.
Yeah, Daniel's in tremendous shape. It's a funny game, this, though. It's a funny game.
I think with Omaha, the flop just changes everything every time you play Omaha.
But I mean, if you're super short and just prepared to get them in, it's a gambling game.
Oh God, yeah, definitely. And in Sean's spot now, you're just going to be lobbing chips about and seeing what happens. Basically, I think
the reality of it is that the pressure got to Yanni. I mean, the minute he knew there was an extra $5.50 ticket, if he could go and take it down,
it's understandable.
It became too much for him.
It would have broken lesser men. So
so unfortunately, he'll just have to make do. Very
he didn't want to take that $5.50 out of the private jet fund. That was the
that's what it is. So Yanni picks up $580 and 91 cents. And the bronze medal, more importantly, I guess, for for Yanni, because I know the guys in the group there have a little bit of banter about who's got medals and who hasn't.
Mm-hmm. Everyone always does. So that's a really interesting flop, because they can both have straight doors, flush draws, everything. I mean,
Yeah, well, one of those flushes has just arrived.
If Daniel checks here and John, I'm going to put... No, he's not checked. You think like, when he doesn't check, it's like... is he betting out with the flushes to try and get value, or...
Has he got a queen high flush? What's John on?
See, now it's hard to call.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Apparently it's not hard to call. Okay.
What did we have there, guys?
Is it two pair?
Crikey. Nines and jacks? That took...
Wow,
two brave. That is brave.
Oh, so Yanni's just saying that's his first medal.
Oh,
excellent. Congrats, Yanni.
Well done, Yanni. Awesome stuff.
Can we make sure that one sent out, Leigh, is a real one? Just,
Will do. I've just had one of the guys from the world message me. A Russian chap. Literally, I've just got the message. Hi, what about my medal? Well, it got sent in February, so if it's not arrived with...
to be fair to the medal, I know how difficult it is to get into Russia. So it could take a while.
Well, have you gone in a small brown parcel then, or what?
No, I went in a private jet, Des.
Can't have been that hard. It can't have been that hard in a small private jet.
We have had one or two medals returned. Tom's had a few of them that have just been returned to sender. Literally it's taken 2 months for them to be returned, but we have had one or two that have come back. But obviously we got details from Party for all addresses. Actually, the chap Roman who's messaged me, he actually sent me his address, so I know it's bang on.
Can you tell him he's got to send us proof that he hasn't received it?
Yeah. Yes. So
send the documentation through.
I've got a feeling he actually won a bracelet as well. So
what we'll do is we'll put him in touch. We'll put him in touch with Tom Clark. Tell him Tom will sort that out with him. Just put the two in touch. Be fine.
Yep. Sounds good to me.
Swap phone numbers.
Yeah, we'll find a way of making it work, because they're all in. And Jean's going to double up, and they're
Daniel there is called a raise pre and then called off with one pair and nothing much else, which is mildly cavalier, I think, in Omaha.
Crikey, I don't think I've ever seen that before.
What, mildly cavalier?
No, winning a pot with a pair.
Yeah.
So Simon Lawler says probably doesn't translate well. He was being polite. No, I'm sure. I'm sure he was.
Simon's the translator, isn't he, for the Russians?
Yeah.
Mike said customs opened it. He's got four. Mike has for. He knows how to send a customs interested parcel.
No, I said when I went to Russia, I was on holiday at Centre Parks in Cumbria. A drive from Cumbria down to Dusk Till Dawn, or down to their offices in Nottingham, to get like a Russian what they call visa, like get me photo taken, me fingerprints taken and stuff. So it is quite difficult to get into the place.
Well, yeah, it's Russia. I mean, as a minimum, it's Russia. So I get that. Listen, Stu, I just gotta ask. Leigh knows what I'm going to ask. I've just got to ask. Apparently, you sent Phoebe the most wonderful poem on Valentine's Day.
Yes,
it probably involves red roses and stuff like that. But could you could you talk us through it?
Well, obviously Phoebe streams like every day, and I'm in there a lot with her.
Hold on. Just to get the mood right, I'm going to have my Canadian tin of Moosehead as you talk.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So Phoebe streams a lot, and I'm in there a lot, and we're like, we're best friends type of thing, and people have been coming to the stream, and I'm just, you know what I'm like, where I like to have a bit of banter with people, and I'm occasionally a little bit insulting. And people have been coming to the stream and telling Phoebe how I obviously hate her, and I'm a bully, and
well,
Phoebe finds everything.
Friends. Your friends, are they?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, they don't know. They don't know me, but they're obviously in there sticking up for Phoebe because that's what people do. Don't know why, but like I say, so it was Valentine's Day, and I thought Phoebe's single on Valentine's Day again because she's unlovable, and so I thought to myself, I'll send her a Valentine's Day poem. So it was like, roses are red, violets are blue. Remember I'm a bully, and I fucking hate you.
Oh, I tell you, with friends like Stu, who needs enemies? Who needs enemies?
Exactly. Yeah.
Me and Phoebe, she likes a bit of banter. You know what I'm like with giving out a bit of friendly abuse. But people were coming into the stream who didn't know the kind of relationship we have, and that's all fine. And Phoebe enjoys it.
She's actually quoted it word for word. You were right.
You see? But yeah, they were all really upset and like leaping into it. I don't know whether I'll use the term white knights, but they were white knighting the hell out of it.
Oh, you can't say that. No.
So I thought I'd send her a lovely poem for Valentine's Day because I knew she'd be lonely, aren't you, Phoebe, all the time.
Well, she's still laughing about it. That's the good news. You gambled successfully. I think. That's
I knew fine well she'd love it. I've said a lot worse to her than that, to be fair.
How's a cragger, fella?
You true romantic.
Yeah, exactly.
He's the last of the true romantics, Leigh.
Yeah. Never let anyone say romance is dead in my presence, please.
Oh, absolutely.
To be honest, don't be surprised if it's not on a Valentine's card next year. Somebody sees it as an opportunity, and they'll be printing them by the dozen.
I'm putting copyright on that. I'm not having people steal this.
No, it's similar. It's like Keats or Wordsworth, isn't it? It's that kind of that kind of caliber.
Exactly,
it really is.
Shakespeare ain't got shit on me. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, Keats wasn't Keats, when he was a young lad, right? He had to go and die, right? So
exactly,
that's what you've got to look forward to, Stu. I want you to take that thought away with you tonight.
Yeah, cheers, Des. I'm not even sure how to continue with this conversation.
Oh,
I'm really not.
Come on the APAT show. We'll make you feel good about yourself.
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
Anybody want to come to the APAT show tonight? We'll tell you need to go and die. You must have guests falling over themselves. Come on.
Because then people will really remember you then.
That's true, yeah.
All that we're saying, Stu, is that greatness is in your future. Right? If it hasn't arrived yet, and we're not saying that. We're not saying that.
That's a rub down if ever I
We're not saying that. It is in your future. You just won't be around to enjoy it. True. Whereas Jer, on the other hand, had achieved greatness.
Yeah, and
in his own lifetime.
And enjoyed it, yeah.
That's an amazing thing.
Yeah, thanks.
But would never have wanted anyone to make a big deal of it.
No, not at all.
That is for sure.
But that was part of the greatness, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. He was just happy as long as he had a beer in his hand and could tell us a few stories.
I'd say I don't want to talk too much because I know we at some point we are going to do something very very. But one thing, and I said it last night on the show, because it's amazing how you still get surprised. And it always seems to be when you listen to a service, a funeral, something will be said which will go, oh, I didn't realize that. And playing rugby for Ireland B was like, I didn't know that.
Heard them stories.
Yeah.
Heard a lot of stories about his rugby playing days. He was in his refereeing days as well. He was the best storyteller I've ever met. Yeah, I could sit there, and I have sat there for hours in his presence, just listening to him talk. But it's great because he was a storyteller, but he also loved listening to other people and finding out about them as well. That's why everyone liked him, because he was the easiest person I've ever met to talk to. He always had something to say, but he'd always. You get some people who you talk to them and they want to talk about themselves, whereas with Joe, you always want to hear about you and what you've been through and stuff. And then he had he'd have a story type thing that he'd kind of follow up with, but you didn't feel like it was just enough about you, more about me. It was always just oh yeah, and then but his stories were always better. It's not fair. So
super intelligent man.
Oh,
he was
God, yeah.
super intelligent.
I think people underestimated that as well with him. Just how intelligent he was. He was mind blowing.
Yeah, I'm not sure too many did. I think the amount of respect for Jer from everyone.
Yeah.
So yeah, he could have that many beers. He could be a bit shaky and all of that stuff. But I don't ever remember anyone having anything but like the height of respect for
Oh, God,
Jer.
yeah. I mean, when he like kind of passed away, I was getting messages of people who met him like once or twice from up here who were gutted. And they're like, they'll message me and just like saying sorry for your loss type of thing, which is lovely. And then it was like, I can remember when I met him, and he was just such a nice bloke, and he made everyone he met for the first time feel like they'd known him for. That's what I said to like Phil, my brother. Is like when I first met him, we went to bike town, came back from Estonia. Yeah. It felt like I'd known him for years.
Yeah,
for years.
Always came across to me as one of the greatest takeaways from knowing Jer was that that assurance that you could be in your 60s and be still acting like you were in your 20s.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I
mean, there's a lot of stories that won't be able to be told on the APAT show. To be honest,
no, on the contrary, they can be told. Of course, they can be told.
Oh, there's a few interesting ones.
They should be told.
From some, and to be fair, you're to blame for them because it's mainly from the APAT trips abroad, like Lorette de Mar and Estonia, places like that. Yeah,
Stu, hang on a minute. There is no way in this world do you remember anything that happened in Lorette de Mar. Yeah,
I remember losing 3/4 of my stack in the first hand, running possibly the greatest bluff of my life.
So Lorette de Mar. You went out a couple of days before anybody else.
Well, one day, yeah.
Well, it could have been a week, Stu.
It felt like a week after that.
You wouldn't have a clue, to be perfectly honest. And we all rocked up that day, and you were sat outside the hotel on the beach there.
Yeah.
And it was pretty much deserted, and there was just you and a load of empty glasses and bottles on the table, and not really a clue of what happened the night before is pretty much the gist of it.
I think we've done here, guys. I think we're done.
We are.
Carry on, Leigh.
As Daniel's just picked up first place in that. He won it with straight in the end. Hit it straight against Jean. So Jean picks up silver medal and $832, and Daniel from Sweden picks up $1,250 and the gold medal for the PLO. Yeah. So we turned up, and you had very limited recollection of what was going on, or any advice of what to do, even though you've been there for a day. Just
Right. So day one, I turn up. I get the minibus by myself to the hotel, which is soon like a massive waste. I check in, go and put myself in the room. I was like, I'll go sit down, have a beer, read Lord of the Rings on the seafront. Yeah. So I'm sat there, have a beer, and the nice gentleman potters out, says, "You want another beer?" Yeah. Rinse and repeat that about 11 times. And then I see Brendan Byrne and his lovely wife come over. Like, "Oh, Stu, we're going out for some lunch. You want to come out with us?" Like, no, I'm fine here. Just going to read a book, sit in the sunshine, relax. They come back about 5 hours later. I'm still sat on the same table, which is now just covered in beer, like pint glasses. And they asked me again, "Stu, we're going out for some food again. Do you want to go?" No, I'm fine. Slightly more slurred. They come back from that about 2 hours later. I'm still sat in the same seat with more beer glasses. And they're like, "Oh," I was like, "All right, I'm going back to the room. I'm tired. I need to go to bed. I've had enough." So I go back to the room and I basically sit down. I was like, "You know what? Actually, I fancy going for a night out in Lorette de Mar. I'm going to go and find a nightclub." So I totter out and find this nightclub, staying there until about 3 in the morning.
Point out here, it's January, folks.
It was lovely. It was glorious. So I got this nightclub, and I'm in there buying people shots to be my friend and stuff. I have a great night. And I pop out this nightclub at 3 in the morning after drinking for about 14 hours and realise I have no clue where I am. And I was trying to find my way back to the hotel, and I just knew that our hotel was by the sea. So I'm there talking to a bunch of drunk Spanish people trying to figure out where the sea is. And I'm
hold on, you're asking the Spanish people where the sea is?
Yes. Sea, where the sea is. They think I'm saying yes. Like, sea, yes, no, yes, the sea, yes.
It's like a very bad Faulty Towers
exactly.
episode, isn't it?
Terrible. Right? I'm stood there for an hour and a half, and then eventually I find some music. It's just down there, mate. I literally walk 30 yards down an alleyway, pop out onto the seafront, and our hotel's about 20 yards away. The hangover the next day was real. It was brutal.
Love it.
Then everyone else turned up, and it was fantastic. But
well, the story has lasted longer than the hangover. I'd probably not have gone down the alleyway that the Spanish guy sent you down. But there you go. I'd still be wandering.
At that point in time, I had to take the risk because I was desperate to get back to the hotel because I wanted to go to bed. But I was like, literally just popped out this alleyway, and then the hotel was there. I was like, for God's sake.
That'll do. So we've got a conclusion to the to last week's leaderboards now with the results from the data. And don't forget that the whole leaderboard ladders started again tonight. So we've already the Six Max knockout late reg is closing that now. That had a $400 guarantee tonight. It's got $740 in the prize pool. So good luck to the 24 from the 148 remaining in that. You've got 4 minutes to get into the PL08 tonight if you fancy getting in there for $5.50. That had a $300 guarantee. Smash that already. $365 in that. 73 runners. 4 minutes if you want to jump into that. Chaz Cairns is chip leader in that at the moment. Tom Banks is second in chips. Graham Pound, Gary Young are all in the top 10. So good luck to all of you. But back to last week, just to wrap all of that up. So well done to all the guys that won tonight. It did mean, as I mentioned earlier on, Tony Ross ends up top of the leaderboard. He's on the step 3. So he picks up 3 tickets, $33 tickets. So we can comfortably cope with that. The other double ticket winners, Neville Harrington, he's on step 1, Des. That's all right. Cheap date there. We can cope with that one.
He's coming. He's coming for us, though. Neville.
And he's coming for us. Neville is coming for us. Yeah. Michael Cosmis, who won the main event tonight, he finished in 3rd place. Lewis Tabib from Austria, Austrian captain, he's on step 4. So that's cost us 2 $55 tickets this week. Unfortunately, and he moves on to step 5 next week. Oswin Boos from Belgium, he had 3 cashes during the week, so he's the other one that made the top 5. It made Peter Wigglesworth, he's on step 4, finished 7th in the end, so he gets a $55 ticket, but he's up to step 5 for next week. Brendan Byrne was on step 2, he was in the top, he was in 15th, so he's up to step 3 next week.
Great.
Aaron Swasland was 17th, so he's up to step 3, and It meant the guy that was on step 5, our biggest risk, our big liability of the week, Gary Young, finished in 21st place.
Oh, that's unlucky, Gary.
Lucky boy,
We were all calling for you, Gar. We really were, honestly.
But what it does mean, it's championship week, so we don't drop you down a step. So if you're in the top 20, we'll put you up a step. But if you weren't, we'll keep you on the same level for next week. So yeah, give it another go and see how you get on. And Gary is already playing, as I said. He's already in the PL08. He's 7th of the 46 remaining in that. So he's coming for us next week. They're all coming for us next week.
That's fair enough.
We're going to be in trouble. Yeah.
It will make it all the more exciting when we get there. So good luck to everyone in your play for the next week. Leigh and I will be back next Sunday night. It is only left for us to thank Stu for his time this evening. It was lovely to have you and Phoebe, Stu. You come as a bit of a pair, right? We book you. We get Phoebe as well.
She follows me around like a little lovesick puppy.
Listen, that works well.
You only have to worry when we say, actually, Stu, we just need you on audio because we've got Phoebe on the video feed now, so we're all good. Yeah. So
or when we don't call you and we just book Phoebe.
Yeah,
because that could happen too.
It's all right. You obviously not met Phoebe. It's fine. You'll come crawling back. It's okay.
Okay. Well, listen, guys. With that, have a great week. We'll be back on Sunday night. Have fun and adieu.